I think I'm live. Just realized I forgot to do a couple things, so a little behind the scenes action here. Something, as you can see, is very, very exciting. All right, if you can hear me and if I sound all right, please hit that number 1. I think I am CJ Mac, Force Fed, Leofo, Frank, Kyle, Elon, Emmy. All right, excellent, excellent. Christina, very good, very good. Kenny, thank you. All right, looks like I can proceed with confidence that things are good. Well, hopefully everyone had a good start to the day. Right now, looking at a bull pennant, bull flag, whatever you want to call it, and we'll get this mapped out here. So we'll see which way it wants to break. Hey, Frank. And we'll see how things want to play out here. As a reminder, if you've been here before and you know that you're going to make sure you hit that like button. That is how we will keep the stream going. I've had a couple of 4-hour streams now, or almost 4 hours, because the like button throughout the course of time continually crept up. So I'll go for sure 2 hours, but anything beyond that 2-hour mark will be dependent on those likes. I guess in theory, if we can't even, I don't even necessarily know. I'm just assuming that we'll get enough likes and want to keep me up to, get me up to 2 hours. But beyond 2 hours is where, just like to watch those likes, and I use that as a measure of interest. Oh, yeah, I mean, I'll stay and watch FOMC, but whether I'll be live streaming, that's a whole nother question. That's a whole nother question. But see, that FOMC is 2 p.m. Eastern, so 1 p.m. Central. Yeah. 10, 11, 12, 1. Yeah. Morning, Bruce. Yeah, price action is a little tricky. I mean, we've had kind of these that right there was brutal. I mean, was kind of heading up and then boom, just flushed. Opening part of the day was kind of crazy. Came down, acted like it wanted to be all strong, and then boom. So in that candle right there, these are 2-minute candles. This is all occurred within 2 minutes. To then roll back over, to then go all the way back up there, to then hit you with that flush. So yeah, this right here was quite the chop fest. Oh, we're approaching the lower part of the pattern. See if it holds above there. Yes, Patrick G is right. Smash that like button for sure. How are all of your days going? 21 EMA is my new favorite indicator. Nice, Frank. Glad you're finding some success with it. But yeah, how's everybody's days going so far? I'm gonna do it again, but I had to do a flip trade on one of my past accounts, and I'll explain what that was. But I already did it. But I meant to do it on stream so you could see an example of what a flip day is. But I'll just do it anyway. I'll do another one anyways, just to kind of give the example of it. Red to green, that's always good. Well, starting red is not necessarily a good thing, but I'm glad you're able to get back to green. Let's see if we can potentially play the bottom part of this pattern here. Do you, on the mic, does the mic pick up a child in the background crying, out of curiosity? This happened as of, I don't know, a few minutes, or not, like a few moments ago. Did anybody hear a crying kid at any point over the past, minute? Nobody ever even heard it? Okay, well, that's encouraging then. That's good. I'm up $1.75. Hey, whoa, that's quite the comeback then, Frank. Golden shovel to you. Lauren, scalping the QQQ. So far, so good. Oh, Lauren, what? You're scalping the QQQs. Please don't tell me you're scalping the QQQs with options. You're not day trading QQQ options, are you, Lauren? If so, there's better ways you can go about things. There's more efficient ways you can go about things. Well, did not respect the bottom of the pattern. There is there is FOMC at 2 o'clock Eastern time. So I think the market's kind of just a little in wait and see mode. What's more efficient than the options? Well, Robbie, let's make sure we're in the right category. Are you talking about day trading options? Because I'm in the category of day trading options. If you are day trading options, that is so just, as I've said before, if I were like some sort of judge and I could sentence people to like torture chambers within the financial world, my sentence would be, you have been sentenced to day trade options. Oh, Lauren, Lauren, no bueno. Yeah. Okay, well, Robbie and Lauren. So this is what, now, real quickly, the argument, please don't be like, but I make money day trading options. That's not the argument. I'm not saying you can't make money day trading options. I'm saying yikes. I'm saying you're operating very inefficiently. Look at this pullback here. Because, and I know, I hope you guys know this, but this is my question to you. Why do you put up with such nonsense? What nonsense am I talking about? Well, in the world of options, when you buy, there's 3 things that can happen. One is it goes up. Well, and that's the obvious one. Well, if you buy something and you want it to go up and it goes up, well, you make money. So plus, you make money. The other one's obvious. If you buy something, you want it to go up and it goes down, well, yeah, in that situation, you lose money. But then the third thing that can happen is, well, what happens if the price goes sideways? Now, the normal person is just going to say, well, that's like the neutral part. It didn't go up, didn't go down. So that's basically neutral, break even. Not so with options. Options, you lose money. Wait, how? Because there is something called theta. And sideways action in the day trading world of options is a killer because of that theta. So you literally, there's 3 things that could happen. 2 of the 3 will cost you money, meaning you have a 67% chance of losing money whenever you enter into an options day trade. Again, but I make money, Clay. That's amazing. I'm just telling you, you'd be making so much more money. Or ask yourself, how much more money would you have made if you did not have theta? Well, there is something that does not have theta, and that's what I advocate here on the channel called Pam's Plant, which is day trading futures through a prop firm. Because futures, they are contracts, but these contracts do not have theta. So why are people day trading? Now, I understand, well, I don't have a whole lot of money. Well, with Pam's Plant, if you do a prop firm, you don't need a whole lot of money. I mean, you could get started with this for, if you have $105, you could start with Pam's Plant. Again, day trading futures through a prop firm. Not to mention a lot of people are day trading options because, well, I don't have a big account. I'm under the pattern day trading rule. Well, you know what? Pattern day trading rule in the world of futures, you can't quite see it. But that pattern day trading rule right up here, there is no pattern day trading rule in futures. You can buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell as much as you want every single day. So yes, to those 2 of you that are day trading options, I just mathematically proved to you how you are working inefficiently. So no opinions, nothing like that. You just literally saw it. You are putting yourself in a spot where you have a 67% chance of losing money. You are welcome, Robbie. So yeah, if you want to get started with futures, which is what we're looking at, wow, absolute just, whoo. Don't you have to pass a test for prop? Yeah, what's wrong with that, Lauren? So you want to risk all of your money so you don't have to pass a little test where if you know what you're doing, you'll pass a test? Yes, if you use your own money, you get to keep 100% of your gains and you don't have to pass a test. But you know what? You also get to keep, when you're using your own money, 100% of the risk. So if you go on tilt one day, you have a bad day, you start breaking rules, you FOMO, you revenge trade, or you just get caught in a crazy move. Yeah, you every single penny you lose on those days, that's all your money coming out of your pocket. In the world of futures prop firms, no. Yeah, you'll lose a couple $100 at that, but that's it. It stops at a couple hundred. Whereas if you're using your own money, it keeps going and going. Do you have a tutorial on getting started on trading futures? Well, no, it's pretty easy. You just go to that link on the screen, and then you sign up for the account. So if you go to the link, you'll go to this site here. You'll pick out what purchasing power you want, and then it'll ask you, well, what platform do you want to use? The one that I am using and what you see on the screen is Tradovate. They will create this account for you, so you don't have to go to that site and separately sign up. So they'll send you the login and username, and then you get logged on, and you'll be ready to go with futures. I guess I'm not quite sure what. Are you, because a lot of people say, well, I don't want to have to learn how to trade futures. Well, it's like, no, if you use charts already, then you don't have to learn how to trade futures because you just use charts for futures. So instead of using charts to day trade options, you're now using charts to day trade futures. Hey, thank you, Evil Sadix. Very solid trade this morning, 600 away from another pro account. Awesome, awesome. But look at this move down here. Wow. Do I try to catch the falling knife? I think I could. I'll go with just 3, though. No, Robbie, you do not want to use Webull. Webull means it's all of your money at risk. With a prop firm, it's not your money at risk. Wow. I'll explain in a second, but this is good action. But yeah, no, you don't want to. You could, but you're also not working efficiently because now it's all of your money at risk. Wow. Did somebody say something? Well, this was clearly a very massive bull pennant failure, and why I hope people use stop losses. And I think I was about to buy this area here. That would have been not a winning trade. So yeah, gotta just let this thing. This is one where, I mean, if you buy, you're basically just trying to catch a falling knife. If you short, then it's almost like, yeah, you're suffering from FOMO. So as far as I'm concerned, this is we are in an SOH situation. Sit on hands. Just sit on hands. So CS that were earlier. Do you already trade with charts? Do you use charts within your trading? So let's. Except for me, in my opinion, at least right now, not a whole lot that can be done. I mean, hindsight, maybe I should be buying here, but that's a hindsight, right? Apparently, Google is leading the sell-off. What happened with Google? Let's check out Google real quick. Oh, my! Woo! Again, so if you were a stock day trader and you were in Google, I mean, that move there is crazy. And every single penny that was lost, that's coming out of your account. Whereas if you're doing Pam's Plant, futures through a prop firm, yeah, you lost your account, but you only lost the amount it cost you to buy that account. Holy smokes. Malware? Will SOFI keep going up today? I don't know. Will it, Bradley? I have no idea. I am not a prophet. Earnings reporting, maybe. No, I mean, or did their earnings leak? Wow. Yeah, what is up with Google there? Let's take a look. Oh, and let's just on the 1 minute. Woo! And it's still dropping. Again, can you imagine? You're in Google, you're day trading stocks, and then this happens? That is all of your money gone. Not so with the prop firm. The prop firm, so let's just say a trader was day trading stocks and they just lost $2,000. Okay, well, let's say that happened in a prop firm. Yeah, you lost $2,000, which means you violated the rules of the account because they want you to manage risk. Not allowed to lose $2,000. But did you actually lose $2,000 of your money? No, you only lost the cost of the account. So in this situation, the cost of the account was $119. So that's all that came out of your pocket was $119. Whereas again, if you're trading this move with your own money, well, that's all of your money. That's all $2,000, if not more, coming out of your pocket. So that's why I say it's just an inefficient use of your capital. You're taking on way too much risk. Like I said, if you got caught in this sort of do crazy nasty moves happen in futures? Yeah, they do happen. I'm not saying that they don't happen in futures. I'm just saying what it cost you, what your actual amount at risk is only the amount that you paid for the account. So that's why, Robbie, earlier I'm saying do not use Webull, because Webull means you're still using your money. And I would argue you do not want to be using your money for futures, because futures can move and they can move crazy. And if a crazy move happens, I would rather have that crazy move only cost you the cost of the account, which would be, if you chose to do the $50,000 purchasing power, it would only cost you $119, as opposed to if you're using your own money on Webull, well, that would be $2,000, if not more. So that's part of Pam's plan here about how it's added risk control, specifically how it allows you to protect your own money, because you have very, very, very little of your money actually at risk. To play a back test or not play a back test, that is the question. And I will do it, because I got a ton of wiggle room. Well, let's see how it behaves up around this area. If it comes up this area and starts to putz around like it maybe is running out of steam, I will look to get short. As a reminder, if you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. Let's try to get this up to 50 likes within the first 30 minutes. We're at 15 minutes right now, so if you have not yet, remember likes help communicate to me that you're enjoying, and as long as I know people are enjoying, I will keep the stream going. And I've pushed it out to 4 hours before, so that's just dependent though on as long as likes continue to increase up. That tells me people are interested, and as long as people are interested, like I said, we'll keep the party going. So if you are finding value, if you're enjoying yourself, if you're learning, make sure you hit that like button. Again, let's see if it wants to come up here. So who was that? Robbie and Lauren. Robbie and Lauren, if you're still here, does that explanation make sense on why Pam's plan? It's a pretty good approach to all this. I do use charts, but I trade options with small account, but I want to expand trading. Well, yeah, you should definitely be done trading options for all the reasons I just suggested. Because with futures, there's no pattern day trading rule, CS, so you can buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell as much as you want, assuming you have $105 in your account. Because the lowest you could do is $25,000 of purchasing power, and that would require $105. So if you have $105, you can get $25,000 in purchasing power in futures. And like I said, because there's no pattern day trade rule, you can day trade as much as you want every single day. Clay, let's go. I'm going to try out the prop firm. I've been struggling for a few years and want a new approach. Thank you for all the insight. Thank you, Cameron. Well, if you want to support the channel, use code Clay. That would be very much appreciated. Rob, yes. Okay, you're welcome. Well, I guess it's not going to necessarily come up and give me a chance to even... Is this just going to keep on bleeding? Is Google still going down? Yup. Wow. Google absolutely crushed. Whew. There are some people here that there's at least a couple people in the world right now crying. For sure. Somewhere in the world, that's a lot of people. There's people out there crying right now. All right, this is the overnight low. CS, just check out the website. They explain how it works. You have to pass a test. Once you prove you can trade, then you move into the pro account. So you start here in the pro or in the test. You got to show the people, you got to show them that you can trade. After you show them you can trade, they move you to the pro account, and then these accounts is where when you start to make that money, you get to keep that money. So on the 25K, the test is this. Prove that you're able to make $1,500, but they want you to manage risk. Not allowed to lose $1,500. As far as how much you can buy, they tell you right here. For this purchasing power, you can get up to 3 of the very, very volatile contracts or 30 of the less volatile contracts. So that's how that works. Prove that you can trade, show them you can make $1,500, and you can take as long as you want. I say to pass within a month because that way you don't have to pay this monthly fee anymore. Because once you go from the test phase into the pro account, there's no more monthly fee. So yeah, I mean, you can take 6 months if you want, but that means you're going to have to pay this 6 times. I say just pay it once and get the test. Again, you don't have to rush it, but get it passed within a month. Sue Mum, interested in day trading with less money. What is this platform? Can I use? No. Sue Mum, you don't want to use Robinhood because that means all of your money is at risk. You would want to use, Well, let me ask you this, Sue. Do you have $25,000? I know that's a personal question, but it's relevant. Do you have $25,000 that you can put in a trading account? What platform is this? No, I don't. Okay, well, Sue, then right away, you will not be able to be a day trader. You said you're interested in day trading. Why are you not going to be a day trader? Well, there is a government regulation in the world of stocks and options that says unless you have $25,000, you cannot buy and sell as much as you want every single day, which is what a day trade is. You buy and sell in the same day. You're not allowed to do that as much as you want unless you have $25,000. But in the world of futures and what I talked about here, there is something known, we call it Pam's plant. Very first thing about futures, the PDT rule, there is none. So with futures, you can day trade as much as you want. You don't want to use Webull though, because Webull means you're using, Robinhood, excuse me. You don't want to use Robinhood because that means you're using all of your own money. But with a prop firm, you have that added risk control because you only have a very limited amount at risk. Because if you go and you do the account, and let's just say you're doing, you get 25,000 of purchasing power, it'll cost you 105. But then you go, because during the test phase, you got to, and even in the pro phase, there's still rules. They don't want you losing more than 1,500. But if you do lose 1,500, sure. With the prop firm world, you failed the test. You can always try again for $100, but you didn't lose 1,500. You only lost the cost of the account right there. Whereas if you're using your own money in Robinhood and you take a $1,500 loss for whatever reason, that's literally $1,500 coming out of your pocket. Now, for those of you that are astute, you may be thinking this sounds like a scam. How in the world is this a viable business model? They only take 105 from you, but they're going to let you lose $1,500 of their money. No, this is all the test phase is happening in a simulated environment. So that is how they can make a profitable business model. Because again, somebody once said, which I liked, this is like a job interview. Show that you can trade. But the point here is that your amount of capital actually at risk is simply the cost of the account, which on that size is 105. Or if you go, with 100K of purchasing power, your actual risk would be 231. Because if you break the rules, which in this account means you lose more than 3,000, well then, yeah, they take the account away from you, so therefore that's gone. But if you're using your own money and you lose 3,000, well, guess what? That's 3,000 out of your pocket. I don't know about you, but if I have one of those, oops, that was dumb, but I learned a lot, I would rather have that lesson cost me 231 as opposed to $3,000, which is what it would cost you if you were using your own money. All right, getting a bit of a bounce here. Clay, to pass a test is 5 days. No, that's the minimum. You have to do the test for at least 5 days. The name of everything I'm using is this. So if you go to the link, this is Take Profit Trader. It's at the top of the screen, or it's also pinned in the chat box. If you go there, use code Clay so you can get the promotions, get the discount pricing. You go, so step one, select the purchasing power you want. Then they're going to ask you what platform do you want. The platform that I'm using and that you see on the screen is Tradeovate. You do not need to go to Tradeovate to set up a separate account. They do all that for you, which is very convenient. And then they'll send you the login, username, and password. And then you log in your Tradeovate account. And then this is the platform that you would see. Does Take Profit Trader work well on Mac? Yes, Riley. I know we have several Apple users that are using Take Profit. So yes. Once you pass the challenge, do they give you the yes, Axel, correct. I don't know. Is this finally a buy here? I might roll the dice. I got wiggle room on the day. What would my risk here be? Yeah, 7 points. I'll risk that. So this could be I am going for a knife catch here. We'll come down here. Whoop, in. Uh-oh, not looking so good. And am I going to get a bounce? Come on, I need more than that. Come on. Come on, I'll take that. Little scalpy scalp. Let me cancel it. Whoa, no. Exit. There we go. All right, there we go. Nice little scalpy scalp. Caught that knife. Got close. But I found some success. There we go. Now, that was only with 3 MNQs, so I was never going to make a whole lot on that trade. But I was not interested in necessarily how much I could make. I was just making sure that my risk was in control, that I wasn't going to end up blowing up my day or something like that. How can I get the account? Daniel, you're going to need to be more specific than that. How can you get what account? New to trading. What do I need to know? Oh, so Sue Mum, when I'm like, hey, do you use charts to trade? You're probably saying, what is a chart? Because I wanted to wait, what? No, I exit this because that canceled all my orders, Axel. You don't know anything. Okay, well, if you want to learn from me in an organized step-by-step fashion, you don't have to. So take what you want with this link, do what you want with it. But if you want to learn from me in a step-by-step fashion, then this will walk you through basically you being a brand new person. It'll start off assuming you know nothing, and then it gets more and more advanced from that point. So you can check out that link. That's what I have to offer if you are looking to learn step by step by step. How can I get the funded account? By passing the test, Daniel. You get the funded account by passing the test. What are the requirements of the test? Well, it depends on the purchasing power. So with the 50,000, you got to pass the test. How do you do that? Well, you got to make 3,000, but they don't want you losing 2,000. Here, if you want to do the 150,000 of purchasing power, which is a lot of purchasing power, you got to make 9,000, but they don't want you losing 4,500. So that's how you get a funded account. You pass the test. So does that make sense, Daniel? I am getting very nervous. What is up with the likes today I don't even know if we're going to make it 2 hours. If you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. Likes are how I keep the stream going. But we are just not doing so well. So if you are enjoying, if you want to keep the stream moving, I keep the stream going based on interest. And I base interest off of what's going on with the like button. If people are not hitting the like, then I assume, yeah, people aren't really finding this valuable. So if you are enjoying, though, and if you find this helpful or entertaining or educational or whatever, please hit that like button. It is a mechanism that I'm using very, very actively. Makes sense, Daniel. Very good. If there's 90 people in here, there should be 90 likes. This is true, help not. Yeah. I guess it depends on what you mean by fishing for money. What do you mean by fishing for money, CS? Daniel, thank you for the, yeah, thank you. Well, good. All right, there we go. There we go. Now the likes are coming to life. Okay, all right. I guess sometimes you just got to ask. And that quickly up over 50. Very good, very good. Okay. This is actually a line from yesterday. We'll just get rid of that now at this point. Still interested in, I don't know, maybe another long 5 minute. You can see here, getting some lower shadows. So now the past couple times the price has been down here, the buyers have brought it right back up. So it's seemingly we found some buyers. You're not selling something in order to help. Yeah, see, I firmly disagree with you. What makes you think that somebody that's selling something is, what's wrong with that, CS? Let me ask you that. Because I do sell stuff. I do sell a course. I'm not talking about here, but I do sell it. But so what's wrong with me selling a course? Oh, that's scolding, and I love it. Oh, I'm getting a cold from my kids. See if this can bottom out. Again, CS, I do sell a course. I do sell a subscription service. So how exactly is, and anybody else can chime in, how is that like not true helpers? How is there something wrong with that? Because apparently CS, like if I were selling something, then like that, I'm like wrong to do so. I realize he's giving me a compliment, but there's also a deeper rooted thing here that I want to push back against, because I want to challenge him with what I think is a shaky worldview to which he operates on. Well, there's nothing wrong with it, but inherently it tends to scare people off as it's some courses have left bad taste in people's mouth. Okay, well, that's fair enough. If you don't think there's anything wrong with it, that's fine. Fair enough. That's a valid point also, because there are a lot of garbage courses out there. So that point is more than fair too. Okay. Well, if you're saying there's nothing wrong with it, then fair enough. Some people think like there's literally like, as soon as like, wait, you sell a course, oh, you're a con man, you're a scammer, you're this, this, and this. It's just like, wait, what? Yeah. All right. Never mind then, CS. I hear what you're saying. Which is why it's always good, life lesson. I'm not perfect at it. But sometimes if you just ask somebody for a little more clarity, you end up just agreeing with the person. You just kind of took what they said wrongly, or maybe they didn't necessarily explain it totally clearly. So, there's no shame in asking. And if the person gets offended because you ask for clarity, yeah, that's probably just not a person that you're ever going to have a productive conversation with anyways. But there is no harm in asking for clarity. In fact, I think it's the responsible thing to do. Just to new traders, but the more intermediate, they can gauge validity. Yeah. Well, some people just, they use a whole line of argumentation of, if you're such a good trader, why do you have to charge money? Has anybody ever heard that? Maybe some people here think that. Clay, if you're such a good trader, if you make so much money from trading, why you got to charge? Why are you charging prices? And that is, there is a greedy, entitled person within that scenario. And here's a hint. It's not the person that is selling the courses. Thanks, KX. So let me tell you a little story here. Story time. Gather around. We have Tom, and then we have Sam. Sam is a surgeon, and Sam has studied wealthy people. And the one thing that Sam has noticed is that wealthy people all have multiple streams of income. So Sam the surgeon is saying, I do make money from being a surgeon, but hey, all these wealthy people, I'm noticing a common theme. They all have multiple streams of income. Maybe that would be a smart thing to do. So I'm gonna go start a lawn care business as a side hustle. Maybe I'll just do it on the weekends because I want multiple streams of income. So Sam goes and knocks on Tom's door. He says, "Hey Tom, are you looking for somebody to mow your lawn? I can provide some value. I can save you some time. I'll do it real well." And Tom goes, "Sam, aren't you a surgeon? Aren't you like a really good surgeon? Don't you get paid a whole lot of money? What do you mean you're going to charge me to mow my lawn? Go mow my lawn right now. You already make a ton of money, Sam." Right? I would, in my mind, within the context of this story, one of these people is very greedy and self-entitled, and the other person is not. I will leave it up to you to figure out whether it's Tom or Sam that is the greedy, entitled person. So I would just challenge any of you here, and maybe those people have already left, that if your thought process is, if you're such a good trader, why do you got to sell a course? You know what? Teach me for free. I'm entitled to it for, like I said, just keep in mind. That's a very, very faulty worldview in my estimation. A very self-entitled worldview. Hey, Nero, good morning. Do we know what? Oh, yeah, we do. I guess Google caused it. But does anybody know what caused Google to collapse? And is Google still collapsing? Let's check on Google real quick. All right, Google's actually got a little bit of a falling wedge here. I mean, we're on the 1 minute time frame here, so this is definitely, So there is the bottom. Maybe make it more accurate. Right there we go. So falling wedge pattern here on Google, maybe. And the only reason why we're even looking at Google is apparently Google is what just dragged down the entire market. So in my mind, if Google can get the break to the upside here, does that start to drag the overall market or the NQ, which is what we're watching as futures traders back up? All right, so Google is coming back down. Is NQ coming back down right at this moment? And that'll tell us, is Google literally... Yeah, it's starting to come back down. Google tariffs news dropped it. What was the tariff news? What would the tariff news have been that dropped it? If this wants to come up above 30 and then come back down, I'm going to try to capture it on the way back down, and I'll just have a tight little stop there. But step one, I want to see the price get up above 830. Up above 830, and then I want to see it come back down. I'll try to capture it back down through 830. But step one is it's got to be able to get up through 830. All right, and it's trying to make a push. And when I say get up through 830, I mean go up, by 5 points or so. I don't mean a small little push up through. Come on. Come on, Cletus. Again, step one, I want to see it up above 830. And then if it wants to come back down, that's when I'll try to spring into action. Maybe I'm being too picky. Is this the short right here? And I just put the stop above here of 830. Let's see how this candle closes. I don't know. Maybe my requirement. As I always say, hindsight will be our judge. Or be my judge. But if you're disagreeing, hindsight will... Okay, here we go. Come on up. Gotta be a little careful because this is all occurring at this pink line here, which is the overnight low. So the overnight low could very well be some sort of bounce point. So even if I short up here, I'm still relatively close to the lows, but not that I would be looking for a bigger move. So we don't know what the tariff news was. Does anybody know what? I mean, I guess I could look. I'm just trying to spark up some chit chat here in the chat box, but we got a bunch of antisocial people here or something. Well, there it went up through. No, I take that. I lied. It hit it basically exactly off that area. All right, so it didn't even hit that. Yeah, I'm going to pass on it for now until U.S. and China to start talks over trade war this week. Gotcha. Sintra is focusing. That's fair. That's fair. Fed decision is in focus today. Yes, again, at 2 p.m. Eastern, friendly reminder, the Feds will be announcing... What does anybody even know what the consensus is? Is the consensus no change, or are they supposed to cut them this time? Does anybody know? Oh, the consensus is no change? Gotcha. Okay. I would think that China talking would be good news. Yeah, that's... Well, I mean, this right here, something... I mean, I think Google did this for sure. That's why I'm just curious. What did Google... Like, what happened with Google? Again, looking back... Oh, we got the breakout here on the falling wedge on Google. There's the break. Are we going to get some follow through here on the Google break? That's the question. Falling wedge has been broken. Yeah, cheers, CS. Fully agree with that. I appreciate that. Oh, okay, well, what malware? What does that mean? Like they have malware in their products or what? No change, all about dovish or bearish tone by chairman. Yeah. So in other words, the speech will probably matter way more. And the speech I'm thinking is what, 2:30 probably? 2:30 Eastern? Man. That's one problem with 6 kids. One of them starts to sniffle and you're like, oh boy, buckle up. Then it's just like waiting for the dominoes to fall. And sometimes you're one of the dominoes. It's not too bad, just feeling a little bit of a cough, throat's a little sore, but nothing some scolding tea can't help with. So yes, when you see me wince as I take a sip, it's because it's like literally just scalding. Google didn't like Apple AI searching to its browser. Okay, I'm still not quite sure what. Does anybody have a headline? Every time I come in here, you were one play for the day. Oh, yeah. You should have been here last Thursday. Thursday, there was a lot of losses. And I've blown up accounts. I've talked about blowing up accounts, so. Where'd that go? I'm a mess over here. My life is in shambles. What's your strategy? I'm a candlestick technical trader. That's my strategy. As I tell, that's like a, what's up? Yeah, I guess, I don't know how to answer that question. I know there's like really cool sounding strategies out there. Like somebody gave me one that was like support and resistance while analyzing market structure. I'm like, I have no idea what you just said, but that sounds great. I don't have anything cool sounding. I just say I'm a candlestick technical trader. That's my strategy. I use candlesticks on a technical chart to help figure out, is the risk worth the reward? And do I have an edge? Zero hedge on X says Google dropped because Apple exploring switching from Google to an A. Okay, all right. Thank you, Riley. That's a little bit more something that my feeble mind can understand. I took your retrace after going above 830. Oh, good job. Good job, Bruce. Kind of lost track of that one. Oh, that would have worked out. No, wait, 830 was here. Oh, yeah, when it came back. Yeah, nice one. Google sinks after Apple announces it's exploring in its browser on the stock Twitch for what it's worth. Gotcha. If when I pass this 150K account, I'd like to try 2 for 50K. Yeah, yep. Yeah, with the multiple accounts, always a good thing within the world of prop firms to be able to have multiple accounts, copy trade. Bad. You've heard me explain Pam's plant, right? I could have sworn you've heard me trade Pam's plant. I guess that's why I'm so confused by that question. Is it hard to set up the copy trades from? No. Tradeovate, which is what you're seeing here, has a copy trade feature built right into it. You just group your accounts together, and there you go. To copy trade, do you need another platform? Nope. Like I was just saying. Good questions. Yeah. No, I have not. I was here when you explained the prop firm and what utility it has, even if you have your own. Okay, so then right there, that's your answer. I trade very, 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 very little of my net worth in trading. Why? Because with the prop firms, like you could be risking $105 of somebody's net worth. Or on the other max extreme, somebody could be risking $252 of their net worth. So that's why I'm very confused by your question. Like that, the utility of prop firms is exactly that. You don't have to risk a whole ton of your money. That's the beautiful thing. Right here. Part of Pam's plant, the added risk control. You can protect your own money because very little of your money is needed up front. And then some people are asking about copy trading, and that's down here, the nuclear explosion growth. You can copy trade. So with Take Profit Trader, you can have up to 5 accounts at once. And then with those accounts, you can make one trade for $500. But if you copy that same trade to the 4 other accounts, now you just made $2,500. Yeah, sure, you only made one trade for $500 in one account. But because you copied that decision and that trade to 4 other accounts, then boom, $500 per account just like that for $2,500. So copy trading is a very, very powerful attribute. And also the way it allows you to spread out risk, which I should probably talk about at some point because it often gets overlooked. And I'm at fault for that too because I don't even mention it within Pam's plan. I just focused on the nuclear explosion growth, but there's also a pretty powerful risk control attribute to it too, which doesn't seem so. Like, what are you talking about? That seems kind of risky. Now you're all of a sudden same trade, 5 accounts, and it is, but maybe I'll have to explain that. All right, am I going to catch this knife again? I think so. With that. I got a tight enough stop. Buy. Sell. There we go. So I am catching a knife here. Maybe some sort of double bottom. If it's not, then I want out. I'm not going to make a whole lot on it if I'm right, but most importantly, I'm not going to lose a whole lot on it if I'm wrong. So are you? I just told you what I'm looking for, Axel. Trying to play a double bottom here. I'm looking for it to come down here and bounce. Like I said, I'm not a very smart man. And my logic is, well, it's bounced here before. Doesn't mean it'll bounce again, but it has bounced here before. So seemingly there's maybe some buyers hanging around down here. So if it comes down here again, are there still buyers hanging around down there? If so, then yeah, maybe we can get another bounce. If not, and there are no more buyers and it's just sellers, well, that's what stop losses are for. I'm a very simple man. I'm not very intelligent, so I got to keep it simple. I realize that I didn't use a bunch of fancy terms or anything, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, let's see if we can hit that green line. I'm going to move it down just a tad bit more. Can you copy trade between a pro and test account? I do not believe so, Riley. I don't know for sure, but I don't think so. Hey, if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. We are at 63. As I was telling people, the stream will keep going as long as I know people are interested, and the only way I know how to gauge interest is through that like button. So if you are enjoying, if you're interested, if you're finding value, make sure you hit the like button, and we'll keep the party going. Rob, everything, well, not everything. Everything is a sim, Rob. Calm down, Rob. So right here, test and pro occur in a simulated environment. But in this phase, they will still pay you. They will still pay you. Eventually, though, you'll move to Pro Plus, which is the live market. And this is typical of prop firms because they're just so yes, this is the pro account. Phase 1 is still the simulator. So test, pro, simulator, because in the simulator it's kind of like a secondary test. They really want to make sure, can you follow the rules? Now the biggest difference here is in here you can still make money and you'll get to keep that money. But within the oops. How did that happen? But within here, they just want to flat out see, can you trade? Then you get here, yeah, okay, so far so good, and we're gonna start to pay him money, but let's still make sure, and there's still those rules that exist. I've been using my same scalping strategy. Again, I'm looking up. I should probably. I'm going to cancel that out. What does the reset after passing the test? You can reset a pro account if you want, but it is super expensive. So I would not do that. I would just, because for the price of one pro reset, you could buy like 5 test accounts. So in my opinion, it just makes way more sense to just buy 5 test accounts. How can they pay in phase 2 if it's not live? Because a lot of degenerates sign up and they make money from them. That's how. Trust me, degenerates love prop firms because they're like, oh, really? A degenerate can get way more out of their $1,000, right? Because a degenerate, if they take one trade with their own money as a degen and they lose, well, guess what? They got one trade. That $1,000 is gone. But if they're using a prop firm, what can a degen do? Well, a degen, sure, they lose the account, but it actually only costs them $100. So now they still have $900 left. So they can go be a degen again. Oh, they just broke the rules again. Okay, gone. Oh, I'll get an account back for $800 or for another $100. So now they have $800 left. Now they go be a degen again. All right. Well, they lost that account. Well, they got to pay another $100 to get a new one, and now they're at $700. So that is the power of a prop firm is and you know, yes, it'll allow a degen to be a degen even longer, but for the person that's trying to learn, it's going to give you more opportunities because if you're using your own money trying to learn and you just do something really dumb or get caught in a crazy move, in theory, your entire account could be done. Like your journey's over just like that. But with a prop firm, yeah, sure, you'll lose the account, but you only lost a small little sliver of the overall amount that you actually had. Yeah, Zerbad, you're starting to I don't know, man. Like, if you're that skeptical, then don't do it. Yeah. At some point, go trade your own money then. Blow your own money. That's no skin off my back. But I've been paid by prop firm, by Take Profit Trader. Members have been paid by multiple prop firms. People are like posting verifiable things on. People get paid. Yeah. A lot of people don't get paid. But that's not because prop firms make trading hard. It's because just trading is hard, which I also argue is why prop firms are great, because trading is hard. So prop firms give you more opportunity to learn and figure things out. Because again, the person that's going to try to figure things out with $1,000 versus the person that's going to try to figure things out with a prop firm, well, one trade, boop, your journey could be over. But that same boop only cost you $100. Well, now you still have $900 left to get another account. Boop, something crazy happens. Another $100. Well, now you still have $800 left. Boop, something happens. Now you have $700 left. Notice what happens. This is a lot more learning opportunities compared to this person where their journey just ended, boop, just like that. Yes, I use sound effects because I have 6 kids and sound effects work. So if you don't like sound effects, I'm not sure you're going to like this live stream. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some people just, are so skeptical that it's just like, oh, then just go use your own money. At some point, you just kind of got to be like, okay, it is what it is. And my final message, Zerbad, let's just say that I am part of a scam. This is one elaborate scam. I am in cahoots with all this. I am just a scumbag, and I am in cahoots. We are going to scam you out of your money. Okay? Let's just assume that is all true. Okay, you lost $105. Now, if that's going to be if that's like life-wrecking to you, I would, with all due respect, I would encourage you to focus on more of your personal finances. I think you have other things in your life that need to be taken care of, where if you're going to say to me that if you were to get scammed out of $105, that's like a life-wrecking amount. But if that's not the case, well, then that's your ultimate risk. If I'm a scammer, if I'm in cahoots with the prop firms and we're trying to scam you out of $105, well, that's it. Not to mention you can pay with a credit card. So ultimately, you could just do a chargeback or whatever and still get it back. Okay, fair enough, Zerbad. Sure, fair enough. Guys, I have two 50K take profit over 6 months. Good job, Renan. So you've had a lot of payments with those then. Because with Take Profit Trader, with those daily payments, you've been getting paid a lot. So they make money by betting that people will lose. Yeah, that's pretty much it. They're thinking that, but what I like about Take Profit and why I can tell they're a sustainable business model is this. If you show up and you're like, no, I'm a baller, I can trade. Well, they're like, all right, well, you're going to bankrupt us as a company then. So we are pushing you to Pro Plus, which is live. So that right there is why I feel very comfortable with things and Take Profit's business model. Because eventually, if you show up as an absolute baller of a trader, they're like, yeah, we can't be paying you out of our pocket anymore. We need to get you live where you are now getting paid from the market itself. So that is a kind of, usually I don't go down that route because people aren't really kind of thinking that deep into things, but that is why I like Take Profit Trader. Just from a business model standpoint and a sustainability standpoint, that's some good stuff right there. Oh, I missed my trade, didn't I? Oh, I would have been perfect. No, my entry would, yeah, that would have been a good one. All right, I'll try. What time is it? Yeah. All right. I want to see what this 5-minute candle looks like. If we can, so this is the 5-minute time frame. But if we can get a green close on this candle and then have it come back down, I'd be interested. But I'm not going to buy on this candle. So we have about 3 minutes before that candle is done closing, and then we'll kind of make some decisions. So I'm going to be having to patiently wait for at least 3 minutes. Can we break out of this choppy zone? Yeah, we might be down here for a while. Might be down here for a while. I mean, Trump seems to be like speaking live every single day. So for all we know, Trump's about to like do an impromptu press conference and then just start. start saying who knows what, and we'll have some volatility back again. I am potentially interested in a short up around that green line right there. That is the, I guess I can get rid of this bugger, huh? Which is the 21 EMA. All right. Would like to see it come up and push up through there, and then I'll try to get it on the way back down. Okay, so does anybody hear any kid, not screaming, but any kid noises in the background out of curiosity? Still none? Oh, okay, we got, okay. Okay. Was it like super loud or no? Randy and David, was it like obnoxiously distracting or was it like faint?
Sorry, he pinched his finger.
Well, that's fine. It sounds like people barely heard it anyways. Our youngest, I guess, just pinched his finger. The casualties of not knowing what's going on. I think he'll survive. Still waiting for it. And let's look at the... Yeah, so if this wants to come down, I like it on the 5-minute. Notice a 5-minute here. Good, solid green candle. Have a very solid area for a stop loss. And in my mind, like I said, I'm not a very smart person, but there seems to be some buyers down around this area. You think the Treasury Secretary is live. Gotcha. How's your day going, Calvin? We are approaching the 1 hour mark. And as I've learned to do at about the 1 hour mark, we want to get this up to 110 likes by the 2 hour mark in order for sure for the live stream to continue beyond the 2 hour mark. So we still got plenty of time, obviously. We're actually well within striking distance. But if you do want to ensure that we carry on past the 2 hour mark, and you have not hit that like button, please hit that like button. I do not know how else to gauge interest and value other than the like button. So if you're finding some interest, entertainment, value in any way, shape, or form, hitting that like button is real life feedback to me that I'm not wasting my time sitting here doing this. Should be 5 by 5 by Monday. Very good. Good job. Remember earlier when I was sitting here like, I'm not a very smart man, but I'd like to try to buy down here because I think there were some buyers here before. Well, yeah, surprise, surprise. Look, those buyers were still hanging out down there, but they showed up with a lot more emphasis. So, I mean, you don't want to do trading. You don't want to oversimplify trading, but trading does not need to be as complicated as what I think a lot of people make it. I understand why they make it that way, but... Claire, are you using OBS to stream? I am. Is that a wrong choice? Should I not be using OBS to stream? I don't know. I'm not a very techie person. I just play one on YouTube. Thinking about getting long here. See if we can get a break up through there. Stop just down below here. So trying to buy at that green line. Stop is the red line, but looking like I might be getting left. Oh. Oh, how did you not film me? Got close, did not film me. No great choice. Okay, thanks. And yeah, that was more so the move I was looking for. So, well, I got pretty close to getting filled, but did not get filled. So no soup for me. All right, this orange line up here, which represents yesterday's or previous session's close, that could get interesting. Hey, relax, Ardu. Hopefully you're having a good day. I admire your patience. Well, some days. Some days I'm a little more trigger happy than others. It is easy to be patient, though, when you have plenty of buffer on the day. It's definitely easier to be patient in that regard. How much is your stop loss right now? I no longer have it in a trade. To start another eval, do you just go to... Yes, exactly, SM. Yep. Code Clay, if you want my kids to eat. Code Clay to support the children. Yeah, that's interesting up around that orange line. I could see myself interested in taking a short. Okay, thank you. And yes, more lobster for the kids. Thank you, SM. I know you bought them a T-bone steak. Now you're buying them some lobster. I appreciate it. All right, we're at 85 likes. Very good. Still got basically an hour to get that. Get 30 more likes. I think we got a chance. All right, we are approaching an area that... Now, if this is a legitimate bounce, it will be a losing trade. Is that 1,300 a daily realized gain? How come it seems like you always go live after your morning trades are... how come it seems like you always go live after your morning trades are done? It seems like that because that's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah. The morning session I am trading, I am focused on my paid for community. I have a premium community where it is paid for membership. So yes, at the opening bell, I am giving my loyalty is for them. So I am giving them my attention and I'm trading those accounts. So you're absolutely right. It seems like I'm showing up after the morning's, what did you say, your morning trades, because that's exactly what's going on. So I'm happy to report, Sun Nation, that you have zero delusion. You don't need to say that it seems like, you can just say it is, because that is what is happening. So you can modify that. Take out the seams. No, that's exactly what's going on here. And is that a realized gain? Yes, that is a realized gain. Unrealized is over here. Well, I guess right here you can... I don't know if you can see it on the screen or not. I don't know how clear it is for you as a viewer. But right here it does say realized. Over here would be open. Or another jargon that could be used for that is unrealized. Or another jargon that could be called closed. So I'm not there. That's weird. I'm not sure why. You would think that would say closed, given that they're using opened here. Or you'd think if this said realized, that over here would say unrealized. Johnny D. Hello, Mr. Clay. Second time watching. Do you trade ES on this program or just... I like the NQ. We'll look at the ES every now and then, but I think I'm more of a fan of the NQ. My trade plan. Long at 838. Oh, he's in. All right. Stop loss is at 813. Now this is how you, if you want to make some sort of comment about your trading, relax or do. That's how you do it. No pun intended. He's told us everything before the price got down to those areas. So, oh wow. Even if he's wrong, I still got nothing but respect because at least he was willing to put his neck on the line. Nothing worse than somebody coming back and, oh, I did this, this, and this. I mean, okay. Or it's going to do this. Are you putting any money on it? Well, no. It's like, oh, okay. But relax or do. So that is a great example right there. Not looking so good for you, buddy. But again, nothing but respect and you're out. Wow. Did somebody say something again? I'm going to try to catch that knife again if it wants to come down. But if this is a start of a whole nother plunge, I'll take my losing trade and move on. But I'm looking to buy at the green line here. What a rollover. Unfortunately, never, got up to the areas that I was looking for, but if anybody else took advantage of that rollover, congratulations to you. Absolutely beautiful move, like my face. All right, it's approaching. Kinda. Again, trying to go long here. Not going to make a whole lot if I'm right, but more importantly, and most importantly, I'm not going to lose a whole lot if I'm wrong. All right. Get ready. Let's see if the price can hit that green line. Are the buyers still down there? That's the question. Move it down a tad bit more. Are the buyers still down in this area? They've been hanging out. The only question is, are they still going to be hanging out? Those who try to play the double bottom just got wiped out. Are you in the future? What do you mean? The people that played the double bottom banked. There's bottom one. There's the people that played the double bottom. You must be looking at something different. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Or are you in the future? Am I in delayed data or something? Pretty sure this is real-time data. What am I missing with your comment there, Mad Mac? I know you're not a troll. You're a longtime viewer, but like, are you in the future? Actually, I'm going to exit out. I'll tell you why. Yesterday, somebody was telling us that they had problems with like delayed data. Like Tradeovate was giving them 15 minutes delayed data. Is this real time or am I actually on delayed data? And so this is real time data? Okay. All right. Okay. That was such a confusing comment. Those who try to play the double bottom just got wiped out. So I read that. I'm thinking they just got wiped out, but what are you talking? Let's see. Well, he might be from the future. Are those, technically speaking, this would be a triple bottom now that people are trying to play. Yeah, I don't know what, yeah, that was a very confusing comment. Can you provide a little more context out of my pure curiosity, Mad Mac? Again, I know you're not a troll. You have, you've been around a long time, but I was just, like, it was such a bizarre comment that I literally thought that your comment in combination with the fact that yesterday somebody had some issues with having delayed data, I literally all of a sudden thought, am I in delayed data right now? Those who tried to play the double bottom just got wiped out. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to play it right now, but I haven't gotten wiped out. What's going on? Wait, somebody had a 15-minute delay yesterday. Made a quick 160 on that little bounce. Good job, Rob. I should have stayed in that. Yeah. What? Axel. No, that was not a sell. I was buying. But no, I would have been stopped out. Pretty sure that move would have taken me out anyways. So I would have, and then I would have been on tilt watch. Not really. I would have probably just laughed at it, but that's pretty cruel. Think about it. There was these lows. It came down through. Not a whole, yeah, I think I still would have probably been stopped out, which maybe shame on me for having such a tight stop. That was me, but Tradeovate told me it was a delay. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, Mark in the room is who I was referring to yesterday. He's a member of the private community. And then he just disappeared. Mad Mac just disappears into the mists. Hey, let's make a run up to 100 likes here. There's got to be 9 likes out there that can just push us up to 100. I want to get the monkey off her back. Let's get up to that 110 so that we know for sure we're going beyond the 2-hour mark. So if you are finding value, entertainment, anything positive, hit that like button. The goal is 110 by the 2-hour mark so that we can keep things going. So make sure you hit that like button. That is my real-time gauge of are people still entertained and interested or not. Because if they're not, fair enough. But I can, as I get older and older, I'd like to think I learned this pretty early in life, but older and older I get, the more I realize the most valuable commodity is time. So if I am wasting my time, I just need to move on with it. So that's the only way I know how to. Wow. Well, if you did play this down here and you survived that little bit of a blip, congratulations. Clay, I only need 605 left to get it funded. Good job, Axel. You're close. Don't think about it, though. Just keep trading. I don't look at percentages. I look at points. And that's all dependent on how much is being risked, Bad. But yes, I do not look to try to get a certain percentage, especially in futures. People just talk in points. Let me take a step back. I cannot say nobody talks about things in percentages, but in futures, people talk in points. Oh, I like to get 50 points a day. I like to aim for 10 points in a trade. I like to do this, and that with points. Clay, for scalpers, yes, the double bottom played out just fine. I meant more traders who stay in for more than a few minutes at a time might have been... Oh, okay. All right. Yep. I mean, but even that's pretty rough. I mean, those people that were waiting for bigger moves, I mean, they had 50 points right there, which on a day, like how are you not taking any profits when you got 50 points? But all right, that makes more sense. Any thoughts on WW? Well, let me ask you this. Are you day trading WW, or are you like investing in it or swing trading it? What are you doing with WW? And that can better shape my thoughts to give you. But I need to know what category are you asking from? Are you asking from a day trader category, from a swing trader category, or from an investor category? And if you're thinking, well, I don't know, well, then right there, I think you should not be trading, or I think you should not be putting your money in the market because you don't even know what category you're actually in. Yeah, just choppy. Chop, chop, chop. $8.54 area now on where's possible double top. Yeah, even maybe even a triple top. I guess it depends how you want to kind of measure the tops. If you want to consider this little clump of batch, that little clump of batch. I mean, yeah, but sort of semantics at that point. But yeah, at this, I would not. If you're thinking, I'm looking to get short up around here, and I'm looking to get long down around there. So long here, short up here. I see the logic. Doesn't mean it's going to continue to work out that way, but by no means would I, classify that as some sort of, degenerate, unthought out, situation. I totally see the logic. I see what you're getting at. In fact, I might have to join. If this is once again going to be the top of the channel, if it's getting ready to rip upwards, well then I'll take my loss and move on. Clay, what are your favorite hours to trade futures? I like the morning time, right at the opening bell. But that's always been my case. Whether I've been day trading stocks, options, or futures, I like that movement. Some people don't want to touch it. But now I've become an afternoon trader too because of the live stream, which is not my strong suit, which is why I always which is why I always tone things down, because I acknowledge I'm not the greatest late morning, afternoon trader. All right, I'm in there. We'll see if we can get the reject off these highs in the 50 period. If not, my stop is that area up there. First profit target is that green line down below. So let's see what this wants to do here. Now, if I was scalping, I'm aware that I am in the profit right now. I could scalp out for a trade right now. But like I said, I'm trying to let this one work for me. Oh, how did you not fill me? Did you? How did I not get filled there? What is this, Bizarro World? Wow, you little tease. Well, at this point, if it comes back down there, I'm going to adjust my order down a little bit more. So I'm going for what, about 3 to 1, 2.5 to 1 on that first profit target. I still don't know how I did not get filled on that one. That was wild. So it's a very basic premise. We're at the top of that channel. We're at the 50-period moving average. Is it going to reject the price? If so, fantastic. If not, it's going to be a losing trade. But I feel as though I have an edge. But there's no way to know for sure. That's why you got to manage risk. Come on down. What the double MA periods? I don't know what you mean by I don't know what you mean by double MA periods. I'm not sure what you mean by that. All right. Okay. Moved up my stop a little bit. Still could be a losing amount on this final one, but I want to give this thing plenty of wiggle room to come down. But it was putzing around too much. And I adjusted my target anyways down. So I figured, I'll just take it off. So I have locked in some gains, and now I'm just going to let this play out. Still could be a little bit of a loss in this final contract because my stop is still above my entry point. Not by much. So I've brought my stop loss down. There we go. A little bit. All right, let's make sure this is a winning trade now. So this will now be a winning trade. Just a question of how big of a winning trade because I don't know how far down this is going to go. But my stop loss is in front of my entry point, so this is the greatest spot to be in as a trader. My only unknown is how much money am I going to make? Talk about the sweet spot of trading, and just like that. All right, there's another winner. So that one worked out just fine, kind of. I don't know if that movement would ever hit my original target or not. You could argue I should still be in because I should have kept my stop loss where it was, but I wanted to ensure a fully winning trade on that one. And when it came down here, I thought that was looking good. When I saw that big red candle, I'm like, all right, I'm going to now start to move myself into winning territory. But it came back up, hit me, and we'll see if it wants to roll back over. But there we go. Again, I'm just a simple man. I'm not now. Maybe there's some like cool sounding strategy that I just did. I have no idea. All I know is that there's been a track record of sellers hanging up around this area of the chart. So I was like, hey, maybe there's still some sellers up there. Oh, hey, look, there's a moving average. Hey, let me get short. Let's see if the sellers are still up there. So, commissions are $5 total. So to buy an NQ is $2.50, and then to sell that same NQ is $2.50. So $5 round trip, and then for the micros, 25 cents to buy, 25 cents to sell, therefore 50 cents round trip. That is the commissions. Up $42. I'll pause for now. All right, good job. Good job. I will say this is starting to whisper in my ear. Is this actually now a long? Is this some sort of legitimate bull pennant? If you're getting long, I would not call you crazy. I see where you're going. I'm not quite there with you, but I'm starting to wonder. So maybe you're a few steps ahead of me and you're saying, no, Clay, I am bullish. I am buying the breakout of that pattern. I see where you're at. I'm not quite there, but what I respect is I'm glad you're thinking for yourself. Glad you're saying, you know what, I see that pattern. I could see that pattern breaking. And if it breaks, I could see the price making having a legitimate chance to run up to that orange line right there. Better put a question mark there before somebody shows up and says, I was on this live stream and he said if it breaks, it's for sure going to do that. No. So I guess it's really, how would you draw the trend line? Do you draw that one right there, or do you kind of come across the top like this? I think I like that trend line a little bit better. I'm going to go with that one. Ha ha ha, Mole Man, you are old. You're old and crusty just like I am. If you bought this CD disc, that was years ago. Like maybe 20 years ago, 15 years ago. But you are old and crusty just like me, Mole Man. Well, thank you for that purchase that you made like 15 years ago, if not longer. Probably like 20 years ago at this point. When things were still on CDs. Yeah, exactly. When I got in this game, I had to walk to school uphill both ways, and courses were sold on CDs still. Yeah, probably was about 20 years ago. Well, thank you, Mole Man, for that purchase 20 years ago. And yeah, I'm still here. I'm hanging around. I'm kind of old and grumpy these days. Get off my lawn. But I'm still around. Gotta like to look 21. It's holding. We're getting more of this pattern. So if we just use this as our lower trend line and then use this as the upper part of it, there is the bull pennant. We'll see if it can hold itself. Yeah, exactly. When things were better back in my day. No. That was just, I used to sell robotic trading, the course, separately. Like that, there was a time when robotic trading was the only class I offered. But like I said, that was like 20 years ago. Now robotic trading is just essentially class 1 of my mentorship. Well, robotic trading 2.0, because the class that Moleman is referring to, I did an updated version of it. But yes, there are no more classes that can be purchased on CD discs. That is hilarious. And then the pattern, it's hanging in here. It's hanging in. I don't think anybody would be shocked if it failed, just given the nature of things right now and how we're kind of chopping back and forth. But like I said, if you were to tell me I'm looking to potentially play some sort of breakout up here, I would not call you crazy. I miss CDs. I'm 29. How can you even know what a CD is if you're 29? CDs were still a thing when you were a kid? So my cutoff, I remember cassette discs vaguely, but like 8-tracks, I think that's what they're called. They mean nothing to me. But I vaguely remember cassette tapes, but then yeah, CDs, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And what was before 8-tracks? Was that the former, like I grew up with VHS. And then I remember when DVD came out, it was like, whoa. And then I remember PS2, you could play it. No. PS2, you could do a Blu-ray, I think, right? Or was that a DVD? No, I think PS2 was, you could do, all right, we're approaching the breakout point. Is it going to break? Yeah, I don't know, but I remember VHS was always like, I remember getting this on VHS. All right, well, we're definitely got to see if this thing's going to break. We are knocking on the door. In fact, I'll just get the pattern out of the way for now. All right, it's poking its head up. I don't have the heart to buy that breakout. But hindsight will be my judge on whether or not this was the dumbest thing I could have done right now, or else if I'm being smart by not currently buying this breakout. But I'm going to pass on it. Again, I would not call you crazy, though. Yeah, cloud full of CDs was my Netflix, but yeah. Again, I remember Netflix in college where they'd show up in the mail. And you get stuck in a queue, right? Like the really popular movies, you'd have to wait for them. Oh, man. Of course, I also remember Blockbuster going and like you seen all the movies on the wall and you got to go up, and the biggest point of anticipation was, is there going to be something behind the box? Because if there's nothing behind it, sorry. All right, well, glad. Hindsight has me looking smart in this situation. Not always the case, but I'm glad I did not buy that breakout. But this movie right here is what I grew up on, VHS style. If you don't like that movie, you need to move to North Korea, move to China, move to Cuba. You, my friend, are a communist, okay? That's what right there. I think I once watched that movie like 3 times in one day. I showed it to my kids. It's a classic. Absolute classic. There it is, the VHS. 95 minutes of goodness. If you don't have this movie on VHS, you're making poor life choices. That's all I'm saying. Poor life choices. Oh, nice recovery. Nice recovery. You don't know that movie? Well, then you are a communist. It's really very black and white. Some people say life is not black and white. It's black and white on that topic. You either have that movie on VHS and you've watched it dozens of times, or you're a communist. It's quite simple. Is SP going up today? What is SP? Power Rangers was a little after me. A little. But I do remember Power Rangers was like as popular as Ninja Turtles. Like back in the day, Ninja Turtle toys So all right, this is let me just let me explain something about like my genetics and where I come from. Like I'm competitive, I'm a hustler, I'm a grinder, I'm going to do what needs to be done. I get this character, I mean my dad, I think I get my question asking from my dad. My dad likes to ask questions. But like the hustle and grind comes from my mom. During that period of time when Ninja Turtle toys was super, super hard, during the holiday season, my mom picked up a part-time job at Toys R Us so that she would have an inside track to get these toys. How is that for dedication? How is that for like, I'm going to make the system work for me? These toys are super hard. It's the holiday season. You know what? I'm going to go pick up a part-time job at Toys R Us. So I got the inside track. And you know what? I had a bunch of Ninja Turtle toys. Like that's just, like that's what I come for. Like that is like, and if I'm going to do something, I'm going to grind. I'm going to, if I got to pick up a part-time job to get the inside track, I'm going to do that. So how did we get on that topic? We talked about movies. We were talking about tech. Oh, Mole Man. Mole Man was like, I bought your class when it was still on a CD. Oh yeah. The second one was really good too. Even though Bebop and Rocksteady were like not Bebop and Rocksteady from the cartoons. But I like the second one too. Anyways. Yeah, you probably should, Mammon. Or you could go buy the movie and watch it. Joseph Newsom. I remember that movie. I'm 39. And I'm 41. So you better remember that movie, Joseph. My son is making money trading Pokemon cards. Awesome. I never got into the Dungeons and Dragons thing. I don't think I was allowed to. I think that was maybe a little bit too evil. I don't know if it's evil or not. I just think my parents were like, no on the Dungeons and Dragons. I biked at least 60 miles a day just to get to college and work before I got a car. Man, that's awesome. That's awesome right there. 2 jobs and all. The hustle is just, yeah, well done, Evil Shaddix. All right, we're trying again. This is actually pretty tempting to buy this one. My finger's on the trigger. I just couldn't quite do it. Clay, the Inner Circle subscription, where do you... Yeah, well, I don't do like, I'm not doing this, but I'm like posting images of charts and trend lines and hey, here's what I'm watching. So I'll show you how it works since you asked. So this morning, like for example, I posted this. Let me bring this over real quick. So like this morning, I posted that trend line right there saying, hey, this is the line that I'm going to be watching. No, I'm not. My Inner Circle group is not for like a bunch of sheep. It's for wolves. We work together, but everybody's got to be able to think for themselves. I'm not saying that was your intention, that you wanted to show up as a blind little sheep and just not think for yourself and just follow me. I'm not saying that's what you implied, but that was, like I said, that was the information from this morning. And then that played out, where was this morning? Yeah, that played out very nicely. So here's that trend line. And then this morning, I mean, yeah, even if you're a scalper, still plenty of room. So it came down, broke that trend line, and then that right there was like a 30, 40 point, scalpable opportunity right there. So yeah, that's how it works. But it's not that. So that is what I'm dedicating my time to in the morning. And if you do want to join that, here's the link to that. If you want to get those sorts of alerts and all that sort of stuff. Again, don't sign up if you're a lazy sheep that does just tell me what to do. I'm not here to put in any effort. I'm here to be a lazy sheep. I just don't want to think for myself. Then that's not going to be the environment for you. Your mom is a gem for that. Yeah. No, she was. That's where I got. Well, I mean, both my parents have good work ethics and all that sort of. Well, I don't say that. I say both my parents had parents that taught them work ethics. I disagree with the premise that a work ethic is genetic. I think work ethics need to be learned, but I reject the premise that, well, I just wasn't born that way. No. You have full control over how much of a work ethic you have. Work ethic is a choice. So I just had good parents that just drove into me. Hey, this is how you have a good work ethic. Be on time. Don't be late. Get the job done. Get the job done better than what was expected. Pick up if you need Ninja Turtle toys, go pick up that part-time job. Clay, I hate to ask you for Axel, man. I think at this point, Axel, why don't you just sign up for my mentorship, man? What's holding you back from doing that? Let me ask you that. I mean, you're asking a ton of questions, which is fine, but at some point, it's like you almost cross the line into, all right, dude, like there's like people that have paid for my mentorship for all this sort of stuff. Like, I don't mind a couple questions here or there, but there is a line that kind of exists out there, and you're starting to like kick the line. Is it confirmed in USA when Trump meets Kina about lowering tariffs? Oh, I don't know. All right, at some point, this thing is going to break, right? Do I buy this breakout now? Or is this going to be yet another faulty one? I should probably just wait for it to clear. All right, that is what I'm going to do. I'll risk 10 points. Let's see. Can I get 10 points if I'm risking it? So if I'm at 59, so I would need 69. Where's that level at? Oh, yeah, I could get even a little bit more. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy here. Whoop, I want two. So I'm going to buy there at the green line. And I'm risking 10 points, so my stop will be basically right there. This will be a breakout or get out. And then my target will be slightly below here. So I'll be risking a little over 1 to 1. Like, I don't know, 1.2, 1.3 to 1. Yeah. It's been a tricky one, Jim. Yeah, Sun Nation, we were watching that earlier about Google. So that will be the play. I'm gonna let it try to clear out of this range here and then buy. Granted it's not above that point, but I think if it can clear through these, it should be able to get through there. But maybe in hindsight, I'll be saying, I should have let it clear up through that level too. But worst case, I'm risking about $40. So I'll risk $40 on it. And you see the lesson here? Does everybody see what I'm doing? Does everybody notice how I know what my risk is before I even take the trade? So my question to you is, do you know that? Like when you enter into a trade, are you like, okay, if I'm wrong here, how much is it going to cost me? If you're like, I have no idea. Or let me put it this way. If you do not have a ballpark idea, I don't mean to imply like you have it down to the exact penny. But you should have definitely a ballpark idea. If I'm wrong here, how much is it going to cost me? My risk is account lost. Well, in the prop firm world, I'm not totally opposed to that because with that mentality, your actual risk is just what, $100 that you paid for the account? So I can see that. I'm not totally opposed to that within the context of a prop firm. Because within the context of a prop firm, yes, you may lose $2,000, $3,000 within the prop firm, the account, but what's actually coming out of your pocket, way, way less. Yeah, no. We don't want margin calls. That would be bad. I'm not kidding, Mark. I can see that making sense sometimes. Especially if you're like doing a building, like I'm going to build this position and it's either going to go or it's going to keep dropping against me and I'm toast. So I could see that making sense, especially if you're, if you really like something, you're aggressive and you're going to build into it. Paul will come out and play. Paul will be out to play in about 1 hour and 45 minutes, we'll call it. Paul will be out to play. And if the interest remains, we'll watch the Fed minutes live and see how crazy things get. But I want that like button has got to continually creep up. We're doing great. We're at 114, but if we're gonna go, beyond the 2 hour mark and just continue to move forward, then gotta see that like button. So if you are new here, hit that like button. That is what I use to gauge interest. And as long as I know people are still interested, then that will make me feel like I'm not wasting my time. And as long as I know I'm not wasting my time, I'll keep on streaming. So yes, if you are enjoying, hit that like button. All right. I mean, here it is on the 5 minute. I mean, it's maintaining. It's no longer dropping. It's built in a higher base. Again, I will risk about 10 points on this. But I am not willing to buy unless it can get up to that green line. Do you have any trading book No, trading books on how to trade are garbage. Stay away from trading books. They will not teach you. All trading books do is deal in hindsight. They'll just show you a picture of a bunch of stuff that's already happened and then make themselves look really smart. Okay, I mean, if you want to learn from me, as I do with this link as you will, I do offer I don't talk about it a whole lot here because I know it upsets some people. But if you want to learn from me, right there, that is what I offer. My belief, same course from Paul. Your thought? I'm not sure what you mean by same course. My belief, same course. Sign up for my... okay, this Thursday? Good. All right, we are just in a waiting game here. I have my buy up at that green line. So right now it's just a question of, does this want to come up here, clear through the trend line, clear through this congestion, and then take us into the world of unicorns and Sour Patch Kids. I could also see myself interested in shorting that line right there. But all right, here we go. Are we going to get some movement here? Again, I'll be risking 10 points. With slippage, maybe a little bit more, but that's okay. So about... all right, knocking on the door of that trend line. Okay, and then I'll press the sell there if I hear an order filled. Okay. Okay, I'm in. If this is a fake break, then so be it. It'll be a losing, looking like it's going to be a losing trade. And a losing trade, you dirty rat. You dirty rat. The fake break got me. And you know what? I should have just waited for it to clear that high. For those of you that are here, remember me commenting? Maybe I should put the order up above here. Had I done that, I would have been just fine. But, no, depending on the premise, maybe you'd still want to be in. But my premise was, if it breaks, like the first time it breaks these areas, I think it's going to get going. But I was wrong. Interest rates, yeah, I think the consensus is that they're not going to raise interest rates. Well, another fake break of that trend line. Only fact on stocks is that it's a bumpy ride with... well, no, yeah, definitely don't day trade. Well, day trade stocks, don't do that. That's a very bad decision for many reasons that are mathematically verifiable. Day trading stocks, no good. Well, I'm glad I had the stop loss in. What a garbage move. What a garbage move. +1 for risk management, though. I'd love if they raised rates. That'd be amazing. They should. They won't, though, but they should. Well, bought the breakout. Thought I gave it enough confirmation. I didn't. The only thing I did right on that trade was I had a good solid stop, and it took me out, and I'm glad I did. So this is one of these situations. Sometimes honoring the stop will have you sitting there upset. I hate stops. Why do I even bother following these things? I would have been okay. But this is one of these where, yeah, I would not have been okay. Is this going to keep, what would that be? 20, another 10 point, yeah. Let's do this. Let's see if I can capture some momentum. Nope, I want 2. There we go. And my stop will be right up above here. So just trying to play a rejection and continued follow through down. There we go. Did I only do 1? Dirty dog. All right, whatever. I'm just. I thought I changed that to 2. Well, that defeated the whole purpose because I wanted to. Yeah, it just. Why don't you like? Whoa, Zimco. I choose my words very, very carefully. I did not say I don't like day trading. I said if you are day trading stocks, that is a bad decision. I definitely did not say I don't like day trading. I am obsessive compulsive about my words because words matter. I certainly did not say I do not like day trading. I did say I don't like day trading stocks. How is raising interest rates going to make everything more expensive, BK Dot? What are you talking about? Lowering interest rates makes stuff more expensive. Oh, BK Dot's like, yeah, but if you make debt cheaper, then people can just load themselves more in debt. Yeah, because that's a good thing. That's good. Why do I not like day? Because day trading. Well, first off, Zimco, let me ask you that. Do you have $25,000 in your account, Zimco? But hey, BK Dot, I want to compliment you. You actually use some punctuation. You put a comment in there. You do have 25,000. Okay, that's good. That's good. Congratulations on 25,000. Well, the thing with day trading stocks is stocks just don't move as good as futures. What we're looking at here is futures. But more importantly, if you day trade futures through a prop firm, it's just better risk management. So let me ask you this, Zimco. Do you ever have those days where you kind of break rules? Maybe you revenge trade, you force a trade, you just make a mess of things and you're like, what was I doing? Or do you ever just get stuck in crazy movements and you look back at your results and it's like, man, that was a mess. Have you ever had those days? I mean, I assume you're not a perfect trader. I assume you've had those days, as we all have, where you're like, wow, I sure made a mess of that. Have you ever had any of those days? Or again, even maybe you were behaving fine, but like a crazy move happens and you're like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Occasionally. Okay, there we go. Well, all of your money is at risk. If you do something stupid and that stupid thing, let's just say, cost you $3,000, well, let me ask you this. Are you want to share, like, what's your biggest loss been? Or let me just ask you this. Have you ever had a $2,000 loss? That raising interest. Well, yeah, it's not working because they started lowering them. What are you talking about, BK Dot? The raising interest rates to stave off buying ain't working. Well, yeah, no kidding, because they lowered interest rates like what was that, like a year ago when they started doing it? Yes, I've been a team. Keep raising them. Paul Volcker, let's go. If you don't know who Paul Volcker is, got to study economic history a little bit. Oh, I should be getting short here on this back test. What would that be? 29. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Order filled.
Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, I'll have to do more than 10 points. I don't want to, but oh boy. Well, the back test here, not looking like it maybe wants to play ball. I don't like that I'm risking this much here. I mean, it's not going to wreck my account, just more so from a mechanics and a habit building standpoint. Yeah, this is a rough trade here. This is not. I would have been totally fine, but I got filled way too soon on that. Again, my fault. I'm just saying. So this is not like a bad trade. Like I'm potentially going to wreck myself. Come on. All right, all things considered. All right, that was, bad trade. Been much easier to weather that storm had I got in where I actually wanted to. Again, I was never at risk of blowing my account. But you always got to be a trader. How are your habits doing? Like, are you getting a little cowboyish? And I got cowboy on that one, which was not good. I wanted to risk 10, and because I didn't think about, okay, does my entry point exactly need to be? Then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, now I'm risking more than I actually wanted to. But the market was kind enough to help me out to at least bail out. BK Dot, yes, thank you. You're making my point for me. Thank you. Bananas have been doing that. Why? As they've lowered interest rates. Remember interest rates? I was getting like 5.5% in my savings account. Now that's down to like 4.3 because they've been lowering interest rates. So you are proving my point. Lowering interest rates is causing prices to continue to go up. And yet you want to lower interest rates even more. BK Dot. This is why I never know if you're a troll or not. Because like you're literally arguing against yourself right now. So are you trolling or are you serious? I don't know. That's what I'm still trying to figure you out. But thank you. Yes, you're making my argument for me. My argument is they should have not only stopped, they should have not begun to lower them. They should have continued to raise them. So by BK Dot saying, well, look at bananas. It keeps going up and up and up. Yes, exactly. That's my point. Yet you want to do the thing that's causing bananas to go up. So BK Dot, I'm going to hit you between the eyes right here. Are you a troll or what? And by the way, I've never seen prices go up my whole life. Well, that's anecdotal. That's just a logical fallacy. Like, okay, that your life experience, unfortunately, does not provide any sort of, general truth. And that applies to me. Just because I have experienced something in my life does not make it like some sort of truth. So anyways, Zimco. Okay, Zimco, thank you for disclosing that. Nothing but respect. His biggest loss has been about $10,000. So you've never seen it either. Well, you're going to see it more, and you're going to see it way more if they start lowering interest rates. That's for sure. So buckle up. There it is. So what we do here is called Pam's Plant. So we are saying day trading futures through a prop firm. Futures because they're just way better than stocks. They move better. No pattern day trading rule, but that doesn't apply to you. There's a bunch of good stuff. But right here, and what I was getting at is their added risk control, and you can protect your money. So I don't know the details of that trade that cost you the $10,000. I don't know the details of it, but let's just say that you were, and we'll do this because you got money. So you were doing this prop firm account where you had $150,000 in purchasing power. So whatever that trade was that cost you $10,000, well, had that same exact situation been occurring within the context of a prop firm, you would have lost the account. How so? Well, within the prop firms, there are rules. And this rule for this size account, they're like, you're not allowed, don't lose more than $4,500. If you lose $4,500, we will take the account away from you. So in your trade where you lost $10,000, clearly you would have lost this account because you lost way more than that. But that's the nice thing here, because within the prop firm, the trade just ends at $4,500. But as you just disclosed, well, in your world, meaning you're using your own money, no, the losses don't stop at $4,500. They went all the way to $10,000. So you realized a loss of $10,000 when in all actuality, your loss would have just been $252. How so? Well, your actual risk is simply the cost of the account. You would have paid $252 for $150,000 in buying power. But that trade that cost you $2,000, yes, that would have caused you to quote unquote lose the account. They would have taken the account away from you. You can always get it back again. But point being, you would have lost the account because you went, it would have hit $4,500. But in this world, had you been using the prop firm Pam's Plant, instead of $10,000 loss, you would have been looking at a $252 loss. So that right there is the argument of Pam's Plant, specifically the added risk control regarding how you can protect your own money. So, yeah, while you had overconfidence, overconfidence, what I just mapped out here would have cost you $252 as opposed to $10,000. So that's what I mean. Mathematically verifiable that Pam's Plant just makes mathematical sense. It's a good idea. It's an efficient use of your capital, right? It's and part of that efficient use is, there's no need to put yourself at a $10,000 risk. Right, BK Dot, because I think BK Dot's a troll. I don't even know what he's talking about. Okay, BK Dot, your problem is you're not. So I'm ending this discussion with you because you're not listening. My argument is not that interest rates were high enough, because you're saying that when interest rates were at their highest, bananas were still 49 cents. Yes, that is why my argument is they still needed to keep raising them. But you're just not listening to my argument, which is fine. Some people aren't going to listen, so we'll move on. I'll pick up another discussion. Thank you, though, for your thoughts. I appreciate it. What happened to Google? Something about Apple's not going to use their browser or something like that. If Powell lowers 25 basis points, the market is going to skyrocket. Maybe. Or it's going to get crushed because people are like, okay, welcome back, more inflation. How can we get access to your private morning? This is my, whoops. This is my private community here. Who asked that? Error. There you go. Do you copy trade? Not a whole lot. That's eventually on the to-do list, but I'm still relatively new to the prop firm world, so I'm not in any hurry. Jeff, thank you, Jeff, for giving Xavier or Javier. I'm not sure how is it Xavier or Javier. I don't know. No, Javier would be with a J. X would just be Xavier, I think. All right, well, it's putzing around down around this area, but I'm still kind of bitter about that fake breakout up there. Wait, you know what I just noticed? Oh, no, that was a winning trade. When I played the back test, I was like, wait, did that thing come up and cheap shot me out and then come down? But no, that's one. Hey, thanks, Jeff. I appreciate your help in here. That was a very kind answer to you to give. Way more detailed than what I actually gave. Where are we at time? All right, yeah. I'm imagining at, I don't know. Who knows? No, it's a total guess. I was going to say, I'm imagining at like 1 o'clock, things may slow down even more because now the market is just going to wait. But sometimes the market makes the bigger moves even before 2 o'clock shows up. You think trading $10 and practicing growing it small, then putting more money when I'm consistent is smart? I'd be using Blowfin. Well, what country are you in, C1? What country are you in? Because I'm going to push back into using Blowfin, whatever that is. But Blowfin makes me think that you may not be in the United States. But that doesn't mean it's game over. Good question. I just want to see if I want to... Well, I guess... and I also need to ask, are you telling me you only have $10 to trade with? I don't know if I'm not understanding that right or not, but if you want to provide a little bit more context. All right, do I try to play the back test again? Okay, you're in California, so okay, so far. So what is Blowfin? But are you saying you literally only have $10 to trade with? Or am I misunderstanding what you when you say you think trading $10? Well, so far that trade would have been fine. My stop loss would have been basically at the crosshair right here. Great live stream. Well, thank you. No, I got, okay, well, no, okay. So how I would recommend practicing is, again, with Pam's plan. Plan on day trading futures. Well, see, okay, this is my fault. You think trading. Well, what kind of trading are you wanting to do? Are you wanting to do swing trading or day trading? Blowfin is a crypto trade. Oh, brother. Yeah, just no, don't day trade crypto. Again, like I was just explaining with stocks, it's a waste of capital. It's an inefficient use of capital. There are smarter ways to go about it, specifically from a risk management standpoint. So yeah, what kind of trading are you wanting to do, C1? Day trading or swing trading or what? I gotta be better at asking people what category they're in. this, 40 would be right about. Okay, well, if you want to day trade, just day trade futures. They move a million times better than crypto. You can get way more bang for your buck. You can have your risk managed very, very smoothly. So if I were you, I'd plan on doing futures. What we're looking at here is futures. And then I'd go and for a whopping $105, get yourself into the test phase and start. Now you have some goals that you can practice to get. Aim for the $1,500, make it. Don't lose more than $1,500. Isn't futures just day trading but with higher leverage? Jada, I recognize your name. I already covered all this about how it's better. Or I guess, isn't futures day trading? Isn't futures just day? I don't know what you mean by that. Isn't futures just, yeah, you can day trade futures, but I don't know what you mean by isn't futures day trading. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Isn't futures just day trading, but with higher leverage? Yeah, you can get good leverage. Yep. All right, Ken, I love people like Ken. Out of curiosity, Ken, if you're willing to share, what were you day trading before you hopped into the futures here? Or were you already doing futures? What are your thoughts on Bitcoin specifically compared to all other crypto or... Well, Ma, you got to specify what category. Are you asking me what are my thoughts on Bitcoin within the category of day trading, within the category of swing trading, or within the category of investing? Only watched. Okay, well, all right. I was just going to ask you, Ken, if you had experience with trading, like, because we've had everybody so far that has been day trading stocks or day trading options, and then they try futures. They're like, oh, wow. Futures in a prop firm, way better. I'm never going back to day trading options, or I'm never going back to day trading stocks. So I was curious if that was your case there. Cool, Ken. Well, I'm glad I could play a little bit of a role in that. No, just because you don't know how to manage risk doesn't make something a scam. That's what a lot of people like to do. They like to do this. Yes. So here's a critique that Master Wayne just tried to throw out there. Well, yeah, but in prop firms, they have rules. There's rules. And in fact, I include that as a benefit. So added risk control. Yes. How can rules be added risk control? Because you know what these rules are going to force you to finally start to focus on and learn and master? Risk management, risk control, not getting greedy. All those things, which are, believe it or not, important. So sure, people like that Master Wayne guy, they're going to complain about the rules because they just want to show up and act like a degen. Like, rules, I don't want to follow rules. I just want to do whatever I want. I mean, you can do whatever you want within a prop firm. You're just not going to have an account very long. So yes, thank you. That's the point. Yes, the rules that they have are good to help you learn to just take profits, not be greedy, manage risk. How's your risk control? How much are you risking? Where are you at? Should you have a max lot? I mean, all sorts of things. I'll be the first to admit, very, very boring things to talk about because it's way more exciting to talk about how much money you can make. Unfortunately, though, the true skill in trading is in the risk management department. Can you control risk? So yes, rules, that is actually one of the good things. Some people complain about them, but those people, they're degens that just want to go trade however they want. So yes, I will agree that if you are a degen, you don't like prop firm rules. Fair enough. But if you're somebody that actually wants to learn the craft and in some ways be forced to, focus on the things that make the most difference, then yeah, prop firm is good for that. Really, I prefer options. Joke, option, like day trading options? Because I'm going to blow that out of the water real quick, Joke. It's very easy to show how options day trading is literally working harder, not smarter. Yeah, it's insane why people just don't add rules. I started browsing and I already started thinking about rules. And, well, here's the thing, Jada. People can add rules, but are you actually going to follow them? That's the thing. And that's also the counter here is, sure, you could add rules, but let's say you add rules, like you have your own money. Well, I'm going to trade my own money. And I'm going to add rules. Well, what about the time where you don't follow the rules? For you, if you're not following the rules, let's just, I don't know, let's go to this situation. If you don't follow the rules, again, your own money, but you have one of those bad days where you don't follow the rules and you lose $3,000. Well, guess what that rule break cost you? $3,000. In the prop firm world, if you break the rules, sure, and you lose $3,000, yes, you lost the account. They will take the account away from you. Again, you can always get it back, but they do take the account away from you. That's what you lost. But how much did you lose monetary-wise? Did you lose $3,000? No. You lost the cost of the account, which in this situation, for the $100,000, was $231. So yes, in theory, well, I'm going to use my own money and add in the rules. Yeah, great. Sunshines and rainbows and butterflies. We all have rules. That's what a bad day is, though, right? A bad day, almost by definition, is you start breaking your rules. So if you're going to have a bad day, I would rather have a bad day cost me $231 as opposed to $3,000. So again, chalk one up for Pam's plan. Yeah, day trade options. Okay, joke. Well, so in options, you know this. If you buy an option and you want it to go up, so you buy a call, well, if it goes up, well, guess what? Yeah, that's easiest. You make money. If it goes down, well, that's obvious. You lose money. If it goes sideways, what happens? Well, you know, joke, that you, well, lose money. Why? Well, because there is theta. So in other words, there's three things that could happen. Two of the three will cause you to lose money as an options day trader. That means you have a 67% chance of losing money. Now, joke, if you're sitting here saying, yeah, Clay, but I make money in options. Dude, that is so impressive. But I'm telling you, you would be doing that much better in futures, because in futures, you would not be having to deal with theta. There is no theta. You do trade contracts, but there's no theta. So that's what I mean by you are working harder, not smarter. The argument of Pam's plan is not that you can't make money with these other things. I'm just arguing that you're doing it inefficiently. There are better ways to work smarter, not harder. So right there, joke, in and of itself, I mean, why stop dealing with theta? Like, why would you do that? Why would you put yourself in a situation where 67% of you have a 67% chance to lose money? And then, like I said, you factor in the prop firm world, and then you have the insulated risk. I can't see how people have problems with prop firms. This is actually the best thing ever to happen in trading. You are risking $100 to gain thousands. Like, yeah, exactly. Again, the certain people that have it are degens. They don't like rules. There is a certain unique group that, yeah, of course, you're not gonna, if you're a degenerate that wants to show up and just behave however you want, then yeah, you're not gonna like rules imposed on you. King, you do such an amazing job every time on explaining why a prop firm is better than your own account. Anyone who has traded enough should immediately understand your point. Yeah, I mean, and the only reason why I do a good job is because I'm just literally following the math. Like, it's easy to argue for a genuine good idea. Like, that's where, a lot of times, okay, the skill of a salesman is we gotta sell something that's actually not that great, but we gotta make it sound good. But that's not the case here. This is like a genuine good idea. So when you are trying to explain a genuine good idea, all you have to do is explain it, and people are like, oh, that's a good idea. So, like, thank you for the compliment, but I have no skills. The only skill that I have is I just happen to have, and this is just happens to be a genuine good idea. And by the way, I didn't come up with this idea or anything like that. I did come up with the Pam's plan, but that's just my way of organizing the argument, the explanation of why it is a good idea. Jeff, love the basic math breakdown. 2 to 3 chance of losing money with options day trading. Yep. And that's also why I will say that I don't have anything against options if you're in the swing trader category or the investor category. Because if you're swing trading options, then that theta thing that I was just complaining about, you can actually do some really cool things with that theta. But again, that's in the category of swing trading. Or, options in investing, there's covered calls. There's a bunch of cool stuff you can do. So that is why I'm very deliberate with my rules. Pam's plan is for the category of day trading. So yes, if you are like, and again, a lot of you, if you're here just watching and you when I say pattern day trading rule, you're like, man, yeah, that stupid thing. I'd love to be a day trader, but I can only do 3 day trades, or, and then I got some people like, well, I got a cash account, so at least I can wait cash to set, but you still have cash settlement rules. But sometimes you have to swing trade because you don't want to burn a day trade, or you don't have any day trades left. And okay, so None of that. In futures day trade or in futures, there's zero pattern day trading rule. You can buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell as much as you want every single day. All right, I am entering into an area where I would be interested for a short. This is based on the 5 minute. I guess I could do it right here too, huh? What would that risk be? 81. Oh, yeah. Let's see if it wants to come back up here. Sell. Stop. We'll see if this wants to get rejected off this orange line area. Does news affect futures? Yep. Got to pay attention to news. Personal accounts have no enforcement on accountability for following rules of risk management. The prop firms does this. Yeah. Yep. But I mean, to be fair, Jeff, there's nothing on prop firms either that force the rules. So if you break the rules, you're still going to suffer the consequences. It's just a matter of what is the magnitude of consequences. If you're using your own money, the magnitude of consequences, am I in? I am in, is all of your money gone. The magnitude on the prop firm is you just lost the account, but it's not like it's not like you lost thousands of dollars or anything like that. All right. Stop is that green line up here. First price target is that area right there. I don't know about that trade, bro. Why? What's your biggest loss? Oh, I don't know. I did really well on LinkedIn IPO day. And as a FYI, Sintra, this could be a winning trade. Like, I've been in the green, but I'm just choosing not to scalp. So this already would have been a winning trade with the scalp. But I'm trying to let this thing work for me a little bit more. So yeah, from that angle, I'm not sure why you don't know about it. Again, right now I'm in the green. I could be locking in gains right now for a quick scalp. But like I said, I want to see if this thing wants to roll back over. I trade using the 5 minute. Okay, I don't know what FVG is on the 1 minute. Or very successful for me. What are your thoughts? I don't know. If it works for you, Ken, do that. My thoughts are, if your strategy is working for you and you're managing risk, good stuff. Yes, I am short right now. You can see that I am short. Down here, there's a negative in front of that number. The negative means I am short. Oh, gotcha, Ken. Yeah, I would not short. Okay. Well, then you would have lost out on money. Because I could be having money right now with the scalp. So you would have lost out on money. Come on, hit my target. Come on, Cletus. There we go. Okay, let's move my stop into winning territory now. Oh, nice. Let me move this down. Let's give it a little bit more wiggle room. So this will be a winning trade now no matter what. My stop is in front of my entry point. I've already hit my first price target. Now it's just a question of I don't know how much money I'm going to make because I don't know how far this thing wants to come down and it doesn't. Come on, Citra. You should have shorted, boy. What do you mean you went short there? Come on, man. I can't get anything to really roll in my favor. Granted, that's sort of a function of also getting a little bit aggressive with my stops. But hey, I'll admit this has kind of got an upwards strength to it. On WW, is this close? Oh, I'm sorry. You did say that something about WW is an investment. I have no idea, man. I would say that WW, I'm not sure why you're investing in something like this. To me, it seems very, I don't know. Like, I get it, it made a big spike, but, man, you're kind of playing with fire. Like, and in fact, actually, where did you buy at? Where's your entry point at? Please don't tell me you bought, like, right there. Thoughts on BTC as an investment? Now, that is a very good question because I love how all clarity was... Okay, I'm glad I played that as I did with the stop. Because now I know what category you're in. You're in investment. If you're using Bitcoin to preserve wealth, then fine. I don't have Bitcoin. I'm not interested in crypto because in my personal journey, I'm not looking to necessarily preserve wealth. I want cash flow. I want passive income. Bitcoin pays you nothing for owning it. I've chosen to preserve my wealth via real estate. So I own a portfolio of houses in Michigan. I now live in Iowa, own some farmland. So I own acreage here in Iowa. And I do quite a bit in real estate, private loans, stuff like that. So I prefer to preserve wealth through tangible assets. So for example, my farmland here in Iowa, it's got some woods on it. It's got a creek that goes through it. So not only does it pay me because there's a farmer that farms some of it, but I can go play on my investment. Unfortunately for Bitcoin, you can't really play in a creek on Bitcoin. You can't really go hunting for morel mushrooms on a Bitcoin. You can't go hunting deer or rabbits or whatever. You just can't go have fun on Bitcoin. So that's why I kind of like land as a wealth preservation tool. Same with precious metals. Yeah, precious metals, okay. They're wealth, but they don't pay you anything for holding them. You can't really play on, I guess you can like play catch if you want to turn gold into like a ball. I don't know how safe that would be, but I guess you can kind of technically play with precious metals. But Bitcoin, you can't play with it all. Like, there's no value there. From can you play with it? So for me, I don't invest in that just because I want cash flow. I like dividend stocks. I like real estate. I like farmland that pays me. Stuff like that. So, but if you were to tell me that part of your portfolio is within your kind of wealth preservation portion of it is like a crypto, a Bitcoin, like, okay, cool. Entry was 19, beginning of April, ended at 55 average, waiting for the dollar break. Oh, okay. Well, you might be waiting a while for the dollar break. Why are you trading? So let me ask you this. We can fix it. Thompson seamless guttering. In your perfect world, what would that be? In your perfect world, would it be my perfect world? I would be a day trader, and I could buy and sell things as much as I want every single day. Is that maybe something that sounds really good to you? Like, is a reason why you're trading stocks such as WW is because you don't have that $25,000, so therefore you're stuck with the pattern day trading rule, and you got to kind of just try to make nonsense out of this. Maybe you don't have a whole lot of money, so that's why you got to trade penny stocks because they're smaller. They can help you grow your money more. Is that kind of, am I barking up the right tree and kind of my guessing on why you're involved in something like WW? Yeah, they're too good. I buy them off my kids. So yeah, I've been buying the morel mushrooms off my kids because they are, around here, they go for like $50 a pound. I have a $2,500 account and I want a mover. But yes. Okay, so if I were to tell you that I have a solution where you could day trade every single day, buy and sell as much as you want every single day, would you be interested in that at all? Does that sound like oh, wait, what? Does that sound like something that would be of interest? Because yes, if you only have 2,500, you fall under the pattern day trading rule. Therefore, within the world of stocks, you cannot buy and sell as much as you want every single day. Well, I tried to play the rollover. It didn't roll over. Still a profitable trade, but yeah, I'm glad I got aggressive with that stop loss because that thing came down. I'm pretty sure I fall under the futures category because I can buy and sell as much as I want and can use high leverages. Yeah, exactly. Yep, that would be Jada. Day trading futures, again, through a prop firm because you want to have that protection, that built-in protection of how the prop firm works is where to go. Well, you navigating the Discord has nothing to do. If you want to day trade, which you said yes, well then I would encourage you to learn about futures because in the world of futures trading, which is what we're watching here, there's no pattern day trading rule. You can buy and sell as much as you want every single day. So I would say, well, if you're scared of doing something that has rules, well then you should not be trading at all. Because a trader without any rules, whether it's your money or a prop firm world, you're not gonna be in the game very long. So let alone something with rules, well that makes me think that you don't have any rules. That's not good. Long for the rate announcement? Sure, go for it. I'm gonna sit back and watch. You let us know how that turns out. Do it, Esco or Sco. Sitting here running your mouth. I'm giving him a hard time because he's a regular. I know his name. So if I start to get to know you, I do tend to like to bust people's chops a little bit. But yes, if you're brand new, I do my best not to give you a hard time. I do my best. But I am a flawed individual. I am interested in the short up around here. We'll see if it can get up there. You just automatically started doing futures. I'll go short on US. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Yeah, exactly. On Forex with your own money. That sounds like an even better plan. Don't even go in before the announcement in a prop firm. Go in full bore on an account with your own money. What I'm on is this. Actually, just go to the link on the screen, and if you want to get the code, or if you want to get the the promotion code Clay, but after you go to that site, you'll pick out what purchase power you want. Given you're brand new, I just probably go small. 25,000 purchasing power will require $105, and then during the checkout phase, they'll ask you what platform do you want to use, and the one that you see here is Tradeovate. So they will create the Tradeovate account for you. They'll send you your login and user information, and then you can go sign up with them. I signed up for your meeting on 5. Excellent, MYM. Thank you. What part of Iowa do you live in? I am in the Knoxville area. As of August, so moved here in August. How long have I been trading for? Since 2006-ish. When I was a senior in college. So I graduated college in 2006. So yes, I got into the markets in 2006. But at first I was like a penny stock investor. So I don't know if I want to really call that. I have nothing against Apex. In fact, I have a code for Apex, but I would never recommend a brand new futures day trader that's new to prop firms to go with Apex. Way too complicated, way too many rules, all of that. That's why I recommend Take Profit Trader. Very clean set of rules and gives people a good taste in their mouth as far as prop firms are concerned. But Apex, while not a scam, they can appear as a scam, and a lot of people call them a scam because these are just brand new people with prop firms, and they just get caught up in all the rules, and they don't know what's going on, and it does appear as though it's a scam. It's not. It just appears that way because they're too new. They're brand new to prop firm trading. That is why I argue start off with Take Profit Trader, get your feet wet, figure out the ropes, get comfortable within the prop firm world, and then, yeah, you can move on to something way more advanced, such as Apex. So if you are somebody here that's more of an advanced trader, you're already very comfortable in the world of prop firms, and you do enjoy the channel and you want to support the channel, then like I said, I do have a code for Apex, also code Clay. I don't have a top 3, I have a top 2. First, start off with Take Profit Trader. That is who I use and recommend. And then the reason why I recommend Apex is because, again, the veteran traders in my private community, the battle-hardened prop firm traders in my community, they use Apex. They get paid by Apex, so it's not like Apex is a scam. But again, I just make the distinction, and I'm trying to make Pam's plan as simple as possible. First, make the choice to day trade futures because futures are just better. And then do futures through a prop firm and do it through Take Profit Trader because they're very smooth. Their rule book is very, very just straightforward. But yes, I do not have a top 3. I have a top 2. I know. Wait, what? You're a live streamer and you're only talking about 2 prop firms? Correct. Because I'm here to try to make the process smooth for people. But to be like, yeah, do futures, and then here's 18 different prop firms to pick from. People are going to be like, well, I don't know what? See, I'm by degree, I'm a process engineer. I'm no longer practicing, but I'm all about efficiency. How can we set up an efficient process? And an inefficient process would be to tell somebody to get into prop firms and then just throw 47 different prop firms at them and be like, there you go. That is an inefficient way. Hey, I've not asked in a while, but let's, I think we can get up to 200 likes. So if you are here and you want the live stream to continue, I've done some 4-hour live streams, but the key to that is I need and want to see that like button creep up because I'm using the like button to gauge interest. And if it seems as those people are still interested because the like button is still creeping up, well, then I'll keep the live stream going. So if you are enjoying and you have not hit that like button, if you're finding any value or entertainment, please hit that like button. And let's try to push this thing up over 150. That would be good. I'm guessing you know the book, The Goal. I do not. I can't say I'm a massive reader. Do they pull your credit while setting up a prop firm? Nope. I'm on a cell phone all the time, not a computer. Do I need one for this? Nope, this platform has a phone app. Thank you, JVax. Good to see you. Still waiting for the price to come on up here, as I am interested in a short up around that area. Anyone heard of Hero? Sarah, are you real or are you a bot? So I'm going to delete that out because I'm a little skeptical. So Sarah Henry, please write ABC in the chat room. We've learned over the past couple of weeks that some bots out there get pretty advanced, and some of them will they'll talk and they'll seem like a person. But then once I ask them this question, if they just keep talking, then I know that they're not real. Do you ever leave a prop firm? I'm not sure what you mean by that, David. I'm going to short at VWAP. Yeah, I'm going to be considering that too. ABC. Okay, all right, Sarah's real. I'm real. I'm just watching it. No, do not. When I see FX, I think Forex. If you want to be a day trader, run far away from Forex. There are such better things to do compared to day trading Forex. Solo leveling. Come on, man. I recognize your name. I already covered this like a million times. Come on, man. How many accounts can you have on Take Profit Trader? You can have up to 5 pros. Please don't short. Well, last time if I would have listened to you, I wouldn't have made any money, Sintra. So with all due respect, that probably means I'm going to short, because the last time I went against what you said to not do, I made money. Solo leveling. The platform I'm using comes in 2 parts. The first part is the prop firm. The prop firm I'm using is Take Profit Trader. The link's at the top of the screen. All that. Step 1 within the platform is select the purchasing power. Then during the checkout phase, they'll ask you what platform do you want to use. I am using Tradovate. That's what you see here. Do not go and set up a separate Tradovate account. They'll help you. They'll do all that for you. Then they'll send you the login information and you can get trading. Are you limited to some coins with the contract, or are you only using this coin? What? Coin? Huh? Maybe you're talking to somebody else. Do you mean... Dude, this is futures, man. We're not trading coins. This is not crypto. Come on, Jada. Are you able to use NinjaTrader over Tradovate? Yes, Julio, because right here you can see during the checkout process, thank you for using code Clay or considering it right here. You could choose NinjaTrader if you wanted. I mean, there's also TradingView. They have other ones too, but I just answered that because we were asking, what do I use? And I am using Tradovate, again, through Take Profit Trader. Shorting a bounce off VWAP looks pretty enticing. Yeah, exactly. Yep, I agree with that. The short level you're interested in, is it because of a possible... yeah, the yellow line here is a VWAP. The VWAP, the pink line is a 200 period simple moving average. So yes, that is what is drawing my attention to it. It's looking spicy, in other words. Do you always trade in the prop firm, or after learning the ropes, do you profitably go on your own money? Well, no, David, because that's an argument where people are like, well, I'm going to use my own money because in the prop firm, look at this. In the prop firm, you have to pay 20%. I want to keep all 100% of my gains. To which I say, fair enough. You do get to keep all 100% of your gains if you use your own money. But do you also know what you get to keep? You get to keep 100% of those losses on those days where you go on tilt, you break rules, or maybe you get stuck in a crazy move. You get to keep 100% of those losses. So in my mind, I'd rather forfeit a little bit of the upside in order for a massive downside protection. So yes, to be fair, that would be a one critique. Well, with the prop firm, you don't get to keep 100% of your gains. That is true, but that's what, like I said, I push back. But the counter to that is you also get to keep 100% of your losses, which is not true within the world of prop firms. Which trade copier would you recommend? Am I shorting Why would I? Why again? That's like a perfect example of inefficient use of capital. It's been a while since I've walked through that one. I don't know if I have it in me right now. But yeah, day trading stocks, even just from a capital perspective, is such a waste. Like to make any money on PLTR, real quick. I mean, think about it. Let's look at PLTR very quickly. So and let's look at the 5 minute. To make any amount of decent money, let's just say you need at least 100 shares. Because even for this, look, it's pretty hard for it to even move $1 per share. So if you have 100 shares and it moves $1 per share, that means you made $100. But how much is actually required out of your bank to have 100 shares? Well, if this is right now trading for, let's just call it $109, and you want 100 shares, do you have $10,000? Like, and that's, again, just to get 100 shares. And even if this thing were to explode and boom and move like $3, okay, well, if you have 100 shares and it moved $3, okay, I mean, you made $300. That's good, don't get me wrong, but it cost you $10,000 to make $300. Whereas with futures, if you look at futures, let's just a little lesson here. So this distance right here, hopefully nobody's saying is, whoa, that's like a huge, massive move. No, that's very small. That distance right there is 10 points. So things in futures are measured in points. So that right there is 10 points. Now on the NQ, one point equals $20. Again, 1 point equals $20. So not to insult anybody's math skills, but if that moved 10 points and we now know that 1 point is worth 20, well, we got to multiply that by 20. That's $200 right there per contract. Now the question becomes, okay, yeah, Clay, fair enough, but how much did it cost? On PLTR, we saw it cost over $10,000 to make that $300 on a very explosive move. Here, not a very explosive move, but how much is that going to cost? Well, that's where Pam's plan, that's where the prop firm comes into play. You could have gotten one of these contracts with $25,000 for $105. Not to mention, you could have actually gotten 3 of those contracts. So if we know that that is $200, well then this right here could have been times 3 because that's per contract. But if you could have 3 contracts, which again, you can right there, that would have been potentially $600. And how much did that $600 cost you? $105. Or you can go to PLTR and get 100 shares for $10,000. Need a massive explosion so you can make $3 per share. So you make $300. Do you see how it just doesn't make any sense? Mathematically speaking, day trading stocks is inefficient. It's not good. It makes no sense. Let's go. Let's go. Does anybody, right? Pam's plant, undefeated. It's undefeated in argument. I've yet to have anybody come here and tell me how this is a bad idea within the category of day trading. People have attacked me, but attacking me is not attacking the idea. People have said, Clay, that's a good idea, but I don't like you. Okay, that's fair enough. Your position is officially somebody you don't like is giving a good idea. So that's Pam's plan. Crazy. And again, this is coming from somebody that just came from the world of day trading stocks and options, and wow, what a moron I was for the longest time. So I don't say any of this in judgment. I was king moron. Do I have to search Trade08 or Clay Trader? What do you mean by that, Solo Leveling? I don't know what you're asking about, Solo Leveling. Are you asking about the code? Like what code to use? Hey, Subakar, this site, what are the emails you're using? Hey, Clay, can you tell me what lines represent? Okay. I guess I haven't done this today, so fair enough. So the dotted yellow is the VWAP. Pink line is the 200 period moving average. Green line is a 21 EMA. Purple line is the 50 SMA. So those are those lines right there. Props are the best. Show the rules. Yeah, exactly. The rules are a good thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody imposing rules on you that will force you to manage risk. I think that is a good thing because risk management is actually the secret to success. Again, Solo Leveling, I'm not quite sure what you're searching for. You couldn't find if you want to get the code, if you want to get the discount, just use code Clay at checkout. That's how you do that. But then during the checkout phase, they'll ask you what platform, and that's where you can choose Trade08. All right, we are sitting here. Are we going to get to the break? We do have a bull pennant here. If we use that as the top part of the pattern, and then this right here. So there is the bull pennant. Really just a question of, can it get the break to the upside? We have about 45 minutes until the Fed meeting. So I expect things to get pretty spicy at that point. What made you switch from options to prop firms? Oh boy. I don't know if I feel like going through all that again. If I do that, that'll be about the 7th time on this live stream where I've answered that question. So I'll do it one more time. So day trading, again, day trading options. I have nothing against, if you're in the category of swing trading or investing, I don't have anything against options. But if you are day trading options and mathematically you are working harder and not smarter, how so? Well, with an option. When you buy an option and you want it to go up, the obvious way to make money is, well, hey, the price goes up, so you make money. The obvious way to lose money is you want something to go up, but it goes down. So therefore you lose money. What happens if it goes sideways? Now, most people are going to be like, well, that's neutral. And here's the movement. Ugh. All right. Figures happens right when I'm... Ugh. Dang it. Anyways. We'll go... I'll get back to that question in a second. Why switch? Why do day trading options not make any sense compared to futures? Are you limited to only this market with your cut? No. But you don't need any other markets, Jada. That's part of Pam's plan. Part of Pam's plan is stop scanning. Save time, save money. You don't have to be searching for the newest hottest stock or hot coin because the same thing every single day gives you many opportunities. And that quote-unquote thing for me is the NQ and the MNQ. They're both the same chart. One just moves more violently than the other. This is the very volatile one. This is a little bit less volatile. So I would start an MNQ. But this is all I do every day. I wake up, I roll out of bed. I don't have to run scans. I don't have to pay for scanners because I know what I'm going to trade. Because that is, one of the benefits of futures. The same thing every single day is going to give you many opportunities. But anyways, back to the options thing. So options... If you buy, it goes up. We all know you make money. That's obvious. If it goes down, you lose money. Now, right here, you would say, okay, well, that's neutral, right? Because it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. So that's neutral. But in options, you also lose money because there is something called theta. And theta means sideways action is a killer. So think about day trading options. When you buy something, you have 3 choices. You have 3 things that could happen. Right here, up, down, or go sideways. 2 of those 3 will cause you to lose money in options. In other words, you have a 67% chance to lose money. Now, if you're sitting there saying, yes, Clay, but I make money as an options day trader, that is awesome. I'm only telling you that you would be making that much more because ask yourself, how much more money do you think you could have made with your trading if you did not have to deal with theta? But in futures, there's no theta. So right there, if you do make money as an options day trader, nothing but respect. You are crushing it. My argument to you is that you would be crushing it that much more. My argument is an argument. Pam's plan is an argument of efficiency, not of, well, you can't make money. Because a lot of people are like, well, I make money day trading stocks. I make money day trading day trading options. Well, good. I'm not saying anybody can't make money. But if you want to work smarter, not harder, futures trading through a prop firm, right there, Pam's plan. That, from a day trading standpoint, is my argument of efficiency. And so far, I'm undefeated. Everybody that has been a day trader of stocks or options and then has gone and day traded, futures, they've come back and they're like, wow, yeah, that's definitely way better. I thought you were going short. Yeah, I thought so too, but then I got distracted. It comes with the territory. And remember, hey, Sinra, remember you're like, I want to go short. Sinra, I want you to start telling me what I shouldn't do so then I can do the opposite. Because right now I'd be 2 for 2 in the green. Earlier you were telling me, don't go short there. I want to go short there. So Sinra, you are going to be, I'm calling you my little Yoda. You're my little Yoda, my inverse Yoda. You are my inverse Yoda. Whatever wisdom you give me, I'm doing the opposite. Because right now I'd be 2 for 2. Sintra, my inverse Yoda. Can't see how someone could refute that because they can't. Because it makes sense. And when I say it makes sense, I mean that logically. And by logically, I mean mathematically because that's what logic is, right? Logic or math is just numbers. Numbers are structuring something. And that's the backbone of logic is structure. So yes, the reason why you can't refute it is because definitionally speaking, it makes sense. Mathematically, it makes sense. Therefore, logically, it makes sense. Therefore, to argue against it, you're arguing against something that Mathematically, it does not make sense. Inverse Yoda. How long have you been? I'm new to the scene since November. My private community finally convinced me. My private community has been telling me for years, get into futures, but I'm a stubborn donkey. And then they were like a couple years ago, dude, just do it, man. Now there's these thing called prop firms, and basically they were preaching Pam's plant to me without calling it Pam's plant. But because I think I was right to be like, I don't know, prop firms sound a little sketchy. I'm going to let you guys go experiment. You be the lab rats. And if you get scammed, well, then I'll know. But people are like, fine, I'll go take a $100 risk. But long story short, many members of my private community have done the prop firms, and they've been paid. There are some scammy ones out there, and that's why I'm not sitting here with like 18 million different prop firms and codes. I'm trying to align myself with those that, I know have paid and will pay and all that. But eventually I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. And then I was like, oh man, I'm a moron. I've been missing out. What type of trading is this? This is futures day trading with candlestick charts. It's going to fall in a few minutes. Really, Daniel? So are you short? Where are you short at, Daniel? I can't figure out volume. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I am here to help each other, I thought, but this is not. Well, I mean, yeah, that's fine. You're giving me your thoughts, but all I'm saying, and I'm also joking at the same time, is right now you're 0 for 2. Like you told me not to short here, and I made money on it, and then you're like, I want to short up there. So like that's just, so there's kind of just some joking irony. But yeah, I'm just joking around, man. I appreciate your thoughts. All I'm pointing out is right now your thoughts seem to be like, if I do the opposite, I will find success. Man, right off the VWAP. Apex, I don't even know if Apex trades. Is that like the legit Apex trades? If so, Apex trades, like, I don't know, you owe me a sponsorship or something. Because you asked me about that right when it was getting up to VWAP. So I take no personal responsibility. I am playing the victim card. I'm a victim of username Apex Trades. So if you are actually the Apex Trades that I have a code with, I don't know. I need like a sponsorship or something now. Then don't play us. No, I'm a YouTuber. I've been trading before I knew anything about prop firms. Okay. Well, Apex Trade's still a good question. Hopefully that answer made sense. Is it smart to short? Yeah. Like if you think it's going to drop, Daniel, you should have shorted. Bummer, man. I do. Elliot, let me see where that is. There you go. That is what I offer if you want to learn in a very organized manner. You can check out that link right there. I am not playing a single bar move. Okay, well, then that's still on you because you have to explain. Don't short here. Okay, well, my feedback to you is, well, then provide more context. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to take that. But if you're like, I'm watching the 15-minute time frame, I wouldn't short here based on the 15-minute, then okay, cool. But like when you're like, don't short here. You know what I mean, man? Context helps. Context helps. It really does. Hey, if you're enjoying, let's try to get this up to 200 likes. I think we can do that in the next 22 minutes. So we need 39 more likes, and we'll keep the stream going beyond the 3-hour mark. So if we want to carry this into FOMC, let's get this up to 200 likes. I think we can do that. Let's make sure that, I want to make sure that people are still interested, or I guess I'll say $20 in super chats. But if you have not hit that like button, make sure you hit it. Let's make a run up to 200 likes, and this will be actually the fourth day in a row where we've hit 200 likes, which would be awesome. So yes, if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. What's been a chart platform that you have used that you would recommend to anyone? I like Webull charts, which is right here. So I've been using Weebulls. They're free. Are they as good as other ones? I mean, I don't know. Maybe not, but they're totally free. So I like Webull charts. But as far as this platform is concerned, these charts are just fine too, and they come with it anyways. Does arguing with chat ever... I've never argued with chat. Have I had debates? Have I had conversations? Yeah. But I don't know. Just because people maybe not see things the same way, I don't know if that's for like an argument. Because it is not profitable trade. I don't know what you're talking. What is not a profitable trade, man? All I was asking for you is you've got to give more context. And I don't know what you mean by it's not a profitable trade. How can you say that when I just had 2 trades that were profitable? Like, I don't understand that. I am playing for big moves. Okay, well, you play for your big moves. Again, it's more helpful, and this goes for anybody. I love people interacting, but like the most helpful alert, or really the most helpful comment, is where you provide context. And the best way to provide context is to say, hey, Clay, I'm looking to enter here. My stop loss is here. My target is here. If you do that, then it's not ambiguous. Like, nobody has to guess where you're coming from. Nobody has to just wonder. Like, you map it all out there. And even if you're wrong, even if you end up getting stopped out, nothing but respect for me because all traders are wrong. But I appreciate the fact that you're providing context and you're willing to put your skin in the game. But if you're just going to make like broad armchair quarterback things, or like tell us what you did when things have already taken, like if you show up and be like, Clay, went long here, sold right here. It's like, okay, maybe you did. And I mean, congrats, but that's not really that convincing. That's not really that credible because we can all play that game. So that's all I'm saying is if you want like the most credible comment, where are you entering? Where's your stop and where's your target? Okay, Justin, so what is your current trade right now? Right now, give us a trade that you like, entry point, stop loss, and where your target's at. Give us those three things, Sintra. How you handle a situation when you were 100% sure and you were sure. Well, I would argue, I would push back against the premise of all that, because if you ever think that you're 100% sure of something, you're going to get yourself crushed. So that is a faulty premise. So I would say if you find yourself 100% sure, you better go look in the mirror. I think your confidence level has transitioned into full-blown ignorant arrogance. Well, if that's true, Sintra, then fantastic. But I'm not going to go scrolling through the chat. I don't really. There's hundreds of messages here now. Hey, still need 27 more likes. We got 18 minutes for 27 more likes. So if we want this party to continue beyond the 3-hour mark, let's get this up to 200 likes or $20 in super chats. Sintra, you just calm down, man. Calm down. You were wrong twice. That's okay. It's okay. I did the opposite of what you told me to do, and I made money both times. So I'm going to talk because I have the data to back that up, man. But I think I'm just giving you a hard time. Like, if we can't joke around in here, man, this is going to be very boring. And on that note, like, if you don't really have enough of a sense of humor to take that sort of stuff, I mean, that's cool. But, like, I don't think you're going to like me because I like to joke around. People give me a hard time. I give people a hard time. It's all in good fun. I know sometimes women don't quite understand that, how guys kind of bond over ripping on one another. Which is unique, right? Guys, we just like, at least with me and my friends, like this, a sign that I like you is if I give you a hard time. If I'm like, that's a good thing. But if I'm like, I don't really like feel comfortable with you, I don't really like, all right, I'm not gonna like. Yeah, hop on out, Sintra. I can tell you're not a good. To be fair to Sintra, I don't know if English is your first language. To be fair, because I don't know how they. What I said was not that you lost twice. I'm saying that you were wrong with both times when you told me not to short. Or the one time. And then you also told me not to short up there, but I missed that one. But anyways, they're gone anyways. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Some people, they just don't quite... They don't quite have the sense of humor for in here. But how that all was like, I never said you lost. I said you the 2 times. So twice you told me not to short. The one time I did make money and the other time I just missed the trade and I would have made money. That's all I'm talking about. I'm not saying you lost money. I'm just saying your 2 little proclamations were wrong. I'm offended by your face more than your trading. Oh, come on, Griffin. You know my face is the most beautiful. Griffin. So I have sources, and I know somebody in Griffin's life, and that person told me that the first time they got on the live stream, their first thought was like, I did not know Greek gods live streamed. Like, since when do Greek gods live stream? That's what Griffin told me. Or that's what Griffin's source told me. Did I miss? I thought I missed something. New to your channel. I'm interested in futures trading. I've heard good things about it. Good, boo. Yeah. Futures trading. I guess if you don't have a baseline, then you wouldn't really know. But I'm telling you, if you've come from like day trading stocks or options, then you know that futures just are just better. Hey, Clay, yesterday I went long and it worked out. Now I spend some time celebrating. Good job. Good job. Correct. You're never 100% sure. All right, I think I'm caught back up. Very good. Very good. Let your audience... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's fine. The audience can be the judge. The audience all saw that. You were like, don't short here. And I shorted and I made money both times. Now, I do understand if you're just saying, well, I meant from a different perspective. Okay, that's why, hence, going back to where I started, that's why the more context, the better. But you saying something and then coming back and playing the victim, well, no, I meant this and this is like, okay, fair enough, but at least be intellectually honest enough to understand why we wouldn't understand that up front, because your failure to provide context. Which again, alas, right back to where we started. The best comment, if you want to make a comment about the market, is tell us where your entry point is, where your stop is at, and then where's your target at. And then there we go. It's not ambiguous. Because if we see like an entry that's, and then the stop is like 50 points away and the target is like 50 points away, all right, you're clearly not a scalper. You're looking for bigger moves. But without that, like, don't short here. Yeah, that's, especially when we're looking at the 2 minute, I'm going to assume that you're talking about on the 2 minute chart. There's nothing to really focus on right now. I'm only interested again at that VWAP, so yeah. Can you fund your futures trading account with a prop firm? Can you fund your futures trading account with a... No. Yeah, I mean, yes, you could, but that would require you to withdraw money from your 401k, which they would hammer you with fees. So don't do that. I don't think, Zimko, I'm pretty sure you don't need to pull money out of your 401k. I mean, you could get started with 105. Let me put it this way, and I say this with all due respect. If the only way you can fund a prop firm account of 105 is by needing to withdraw money from your 401k, again, with all due respect, I'd encourage you to figure out and kind of focus on some other things within your personal finances. I'll be in St. Paul. I'm so excited. People are so much nice. Are people in Minnesota nice? I don't know. I have been to Minnesota once. I now live south of Minnesota, I guess, right? Is my geography right? On top of Iowa is Minnesota? Or is that Wisconsin? Uh-oh. That's Minnesota, right? I'm so new to Iowa, I don't even know my own geography right now. Do you tend to wait for short opportunities versus long? Yeah. In general, yes, I do. But that's that doesn't mean I don't go long or anything like that. But yes, per your point, in general, I do. I would prefer to short. So much for your love. I don't know. Sintra, that went sideways in a hurry. I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened. Some people, I don't think they just quite have the sense of humor. How easy or hard is it to actually get the payout part? It is hard to get paid, but that's not because of a prop firm. It's because trading is hard. So yes. Now, you could, quote unquote, get a payout if you're using your own money. Meaning, let's say you make $1,000. But the next trade, you could lose that $1,000 and it's gone. So, yes, getting payouts is hard, but that's not because prop firms are hard. It's because trading is hard. Trading is very hard. If anything, though, prop firms give you more time to figure it out. Because instead of one bad trade, roasting $1,000 out of your account, and that's maybe all you had, one bad trade in a prop firm, Yeah, sure, you lose the account and it costs you maybe $100, but at least you still have $900 to try again. Todd, instead of explaining futures over options, just tell them to Google it. No. Why would I? No. No. I'm a teacher, man. Plus, come on, Todd. You got to think business-wise. If I take the time to explain something to somebody and this something is actually a good idea, my business theory states that they will be grateful of that because I have taken the time to explain something that is indeed true and indeed helpful. And if somebody is grateful for that, and then I have a code that they can use to give them a discount, and then I get a slice of the pie, business sense-wise, it behooves me to explain that, Todd. And this is not a charity stream. I'm enjoying myself. I love hanging out. I love shooting the breeze. Love having some lively discussions. But I'm not a charity. I'm running a for-profit business. I have 6 kids to feed. So on that note, if you want to feed my kids, code Clay, please. If you have found any value in this, code Clay, please. Why are people asking the same question? Because there's constantly a new stream of people getting on here. That's why. Thank you, Todd. And my kids thank you. They say, thank you, Uncle Todd. I'm not eating dirt tonight because of Uncle Todd. I'm eating a, what's expensive? I'm eating a porterhouse steak because of Uncle Todd. But no, in all seriousness, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But that's why. That's why I repeat it over or why I'm willing to explain it. Because in the back of my mind, I'm teaching people, which does feel good to teach people. But again, I'm not a pure saint. I'm also here to make money. And if they want to use that code, then that is a way for me to make money. Do you plan on having any more kids? I don't know. I profited $1.68 today, then ran out of money to buy. See, Rick, that is So, Rick, what are you trading? This is a great example. What are you trading where you, quote unquote, ran out of money to buy? I have good news for you, Rick. You're doing things inefficiently. But how did you run out of money? Well, I know how, because you're under the $25,000, so you don't have a margin account because you have a cash account. So now you ran out of money because you got to wait for that money to settle. Yeah, exactly. See, I read your mind. Cash account and TOS. Why are you doing? Do you know there's a better way? So let me ask you this, Rick. Would you, if I could tell you that, you know what? You don't have to do a cash account. You don't have to deal with cash settlement rules. You can buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell as much as you want every single day. Or in other words, there is a way for you, Rick, for you not to run out of money to trade. Does that sound like it's any interest? I guess that 2K is... A truly sound business plan is to offer value and get paid for it. Graduated Wharton. Exactly. That business theory on my part took 7 years at an Ivy League business school. But the MMM, what's it called? Huh? I'm not sure what you mean. Rick, you need to get into futures trading. Why? Because there's no pattern day trading rule in futures, Rick. You will never run out of money like you just explained here. Day trading futures, no pattern day trading rule. That's a good thing. Our prop firm accounts month to month. Only the test phase. Which is why I say pass the test within 1 month. Because after that month, the monthly fee goes away. So you're allowed to take as long as you want. But I say don't take as long as you want. Get it done within a month so you can avoid that monthly fee. How much to start? Right here. You could get $25,000 worth of purchasing power for $105. So if you have $105, you get $25,000 in purchasing power. For, well, 105, assuming you use code Clay, because that'll give you the 30% off, and then there won't be any activation fee. We got quite the pullback here. No, you can't, Scott. No, you can't. You can avoid the pattern day trading rule by using a cash account off of margin. Yes, but you have to deal with cash settlement rules. So quite literally, you can find yourself with Rick. Rick up above was like, I ran out of money today. And then before Rick even told me, I read the situation. I was like, oh, so what you mean is that because you have under $25,000, you don't want a margin account, so you went to a cash account. But with the cash account, you can still only just use the cash, but you will still run out. So that's why I'm telling Rick, hey, if you never want to run out of cash again, day trade futures. Because a cash account solves nothing. Because you still have, unfortunately, cash settlement rules. So you can run out of money like Rick did, run out of trades. Which if you're a day trader, I would argue, I mean, you should be able to trade as much as you want, right? I was thinking of opening a position, then find out Fed meeting in 30 minutes. Well, do you think you're going to be holding for 30 minutes? If so, then probably a good idea on your part. Because things can tend to get spicy here. Hey, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let's get this up over 200 likes. So if you are enjoying, if you're finding value, if you're entertained, hit that like button. I am LDS, and I have 4 kids to feed. Good. I hope you're feeding them. I'm trying to feed them too. Why do some traders not use prop firms or futures? A lot of people just don't even know about prop firms, really. A lot of people are sketched out by them, which I understand. I was sketched out for them, but like I said, after watching a lot of my private, traders in my room that I trust very much, that are really good traders, get paid by them and get paid for them. In fact, there's one, Michelle, bless her heart, gave me a hard time. She went on, I can't remember what it is, like a 2-week European vacation, and she gave me a hard time. She's like, European vacation being paid with fake money, because she made all these gains from prop firms. So I was like, well played, Michelle, well played. So yeah, I think a lot of people. So I only buy 6 over 45 over VWAP. This would be same here. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Rick. So what it's telling you is if you choose a 25,000, it's telling you can do 3 of the very volatile contracts or 30 of the less volatile. If you were to choose 100,000 in purchasing power, then for that amount, you could get 12 of the very volatile contracts or 120 of the less volatile. Oh, okay. Oh. Are you asking, do charts work in futures? Like, is that what you're asking? It sounds like you use charts right now to trade whatever you were. Is that what you're asking? Are charts applicable to futures? My wife and I are going to be on a week vacation in June, 100% paid for it. That's awesome, Mark. Mark is a student of my program, a way better prop firm trader than I am. But he, right there. And he is, and I can verify that because he has shown in our private community many screenshots showing that he's getting paid, all that good stuff. Yes, Rick, absolutely. That's why I say a lot of people are scared, like, well, I don't have to want to learn how to trade futures. It's like, well, do you trade with charts already? They're like, yeah. Then I'm like, all right, then you're 97% of the way there, because instead of using charts to day trade stocks, for example, you're now using charts to day trade futures. Because a chart is a chart. A candlestick is a candlestick. 30% take profit. Activation fee after you... $0 activation fee, Alfred. If you use code Clay, there will be $0 activation fee. Hey, let's get 6 more likes. Let's drive this up over 200. No, Trump is not talking. We have the Fed meeting here soon. Come on, let's get this up over 200 likes. We're all so close yet so far away. Oh, somebody just took away, like, brutal. Oh, there's 199. 2 more. 2 more likes. Let's go. Trump is talking now again. We need 1 more like in the next. I know we're at 200, but we have to factor in the JJ effect. So we need 1 more like in the next 90 seconds. Who's going to be the one that ensures the party continue? Oh, boom, 203. I like this group. This is a great group here. Let's keep it going. Oh, I don't know. We're 19 minutes away from the Fed announcement. 18 minutes away now, and it's one of those things where, I mean, I see the bearish pattern here. I'm contemplating it. So we have that as our top part of the pattern, and that right there. So I mean, I see the bear pennant, but I don't know. Is it wise to take the bear pennant this close to the Fed announcement? Maybe it is. But that's why textbooks don't work, because the textbook could tell us whether or not it was wise, right? Because they can wait to see what happens, screenshot a picture of it, throw in their book, and tell us how to trade it. But right now, we don't know. Because when you look to the right, what do you see? You just see a void of darkness. It's easy to look to the left, right? Looking to the left, very, very easy to trade. But when you have to look to the right into this void of darkness, trading gets a little bit more difficult. 40 is not touching it before the news. I can see that. I don't. Bought short. You mean you sold short? You sold short at 19,900. We'll sell at. No, you mean you'll buy. You're getting your terms. When you short, you sell to short, and then when you exit, you buy to cover. What's the purple line? It's the 50-period simple moving average. Does this really look purple to people? In my mind, that's pink, but the pink is the 200 period. You made $10 profit. Good job, Daniel. Oh, I'm so tempted. Actually, I lied. Multiple time frames. To short the lower part of the trend line means you could be shorting basically right at the purple line here, which on the 5-minute is the 50-period moving average. I'm not sure that's the smartest way or smartest area where somebody would want to be shorting. Is right at that level. Little sketchy there, maybe. A little sketchy there, so I'm going to probably go ahead and pass on that one. In fact, I like it so much, I'm going to just map it out, see how it plays out. And I'm not going to short it because, okay, right now, in fact, let's watch this in conjunction. So right here, you can see the 5-minute is right at the purple line. And right here at the trend line. Well, I don't know. I guess a break of that trend line would be a break of the 50 period. So again, this is the 5-minute. 5-minute is right at that purple line. And we're trying to break down through on the 2-minute right here. So this right here is a 2-minute. This right here is a 5-minute time frame. I'm nervous because on the 5-minute, there's that purple line right there. So I'm thinking if this, on the 5-minute, is this going to cause this to boop? And from a short standpoint, that'd be no good. That'd be no good. Yeah, so it's trying to find some support right there. So that's what we're watching there. I'll get the 5-minute out of the way. $15 minutes until the meeting. If you are with Take Profit Trader, friendly reminder, you are not allowed to be in a trade 1 minute before, 1 minute during, and 1 minute after. Other prop firms, I don't know what their rules are on that, but if you are with Take Profit Trader, remember they have rules. They're not going to allow you to be a degenerate gambler. So you may not be in a minute before, a minute during, or a minute after if you're with Take Profit Trader. Are you going to trade FOMC? I have no idea. As day traders, you literally don't know if you're going to trade in the next minute, right? Because if there's no trade setup, then you're not going to trade. So I have no idea. I never know if I'm going to trade. For all I know right now, I may have 20 more trades left on the day. Or I may have 0. But I don't know. As traders, I don't know if I'm going to trade. I'm only going to trade if there's a setup. Oh, so you can't trade news with TPT. Only some news. The big news. Again, these are good things. But I want to be a degenerate and just YOLO on news. That's fine. Then but you're not actually a serious trader. So if you want to be a serious trader and have good quality rules imposed upon you, that is where I say, prop firms kind of shine. But if you want to be a degen that just loads the boat, I'm like that. If you want to rush, that's definitely going to be a rush of adrenaline. But is that going to be like a viable long-term model? That's where things might not quite work out for you. See, what did I say? I said I'm not going to short the break of that. You all literally heard me say it. So the power of charts. Why did I not want to do that? Well, because right here was on the 5-minute was that purple line. And lo and behold, we bounced right off of it. So do you see how multiple time frame analysis is very, very valuable? Because if somebody was just using the 2-minute, they would have never have noticed that on the 5-minute. They could have very realistically shorted that trend line and then whoop, back up it went. Sound effects, no extra charge. And they'd be like, oh man, that was so cheap. No, I disagree that was a cheap shot. Because if you're using multiple time frame analysis, you would have noticed that purple line right there, which did ultimately provide the bounce point right there on the 2-minute. So hopefully, that made sense to people, and you can see the power of using multiple time frames. It's a good thing. It's a valuable thing. Hit yellow, then rug pull. Rick, what are you coming from? Are you coming from the world of cryptos? Talking rug pulls? What's the purple line? The 50 period simple moving average. When people are talking rug pulls, it's like, okay, you must have some experience coming from the world of crypto. Back in my day, we just called those pump and dumps, but I don't mind a rug pull. It does a good job of illustrating what's going on. All right, we are at 12 minutes until the announcement. 12 minutes. We are at 198 concurrents. If we can get 2 more, if we can get 200, that would be a record of concurrent viewers. So, well, I don't know how to make it keep going up. I think I'm at the mercy of the algorithm, but if we can get it to pop up a little bit more, then we will be at a new record for concurrent viewers. We're at 198 right now. You got 20 points. Good job, Scott. Yeah, if it can push up through here, it's got some room to run. But going long right here, when it's kind of stuck in this little congestion area, that would have me a little nervous. How do you get lines? You're going to have to be a little bit more specific. The key to getting the most value out of a prop firm is to use them to learn how to be a consistent and profitable trader and not to YOLO and hit. Correct, patient trader. Correct. Patient trader, when he speaks, listen to what he's got to say. He's become a very valuable person in the live chat here. I don't know if you're a member of my private community or not, but if you are not, I hope you consider. You'd be a great addition. But I appreciate your insight that you offer here. Another great comment. Ask everyone here to invite one friend to appreciate trying to join. Can people do that? Yeah, if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. Thank you. I'm not sure who that was to. Somebody said thank you. I'm not sure what it's being thanked for, but sorry for typos. Typing on phones. Did you draw lines yourself? Yellow? No, that's a moving average. You just would have to add in an indicator. They're called moving averages. I sent the link to my pop, and he joined. Oh, that was nice. Hello, Frank's pop, or Frank's pop. That would be the right grammar. All right, we are sitting at 10 minutes. 10 minutes before Pride Tradeovate is just going to buckle. I doubt that the platform is going to work the whole way through. It'll probably buckle, but it's going to get spazzy. It's going to get spicy. And we'll just have to wait and see which direction it is. But yes, I'm officially no longer interested in taking any trades because at this point, I don't know if something slips or you just don't know. You just don't know. Things can all of a sudden get a little too spicy and then, whoa. 19,890 up, then down for a few more. All right, Rick, you got to be more specific than that. Like, where's your entry point, Rick? Where is your stop loss at, Rick? And then what will your target be? But 19,890 up, then down for a few more. That's a little too broad. Like, let's build more context. So the max context would be, what's your entry point? Where's your stop loss? And then where is your profit? So Kawasaki or Kawasoko Kota, very bullish. All right, how are you gonna capitalize on you being very bullish? Where's your entry point at? Where's your entry point gonna be, I should say? Where's your stop loss? Where's your target? So how are you gonna capitalize on you being very bullish? See what I mean? Right there. We're not at what's going on here. Did something slip? What was that? That's exactly what I meant. You hit that 10-minute mark and things can get a little squirrely. Things can get a little spicy and some spice just showed up. Now, if you were short there, you're feeling good about life. I'm seeing 1989, then it'll go down. Okay, Rick, well, where'd your stop loss be, though? Because what happens if you're wrong and it does not, and if it goes beyond 19,890? Then what? So where's your stop loss at, Rick? Because surely you don't mean that's guaranteed that it'll go down. Right now you're saying then it will go down. But I'm pretty sure you don't mean that it's literally guaranteed to go down. Because I'm pretty sure that you're not sitting there saying you know for sure it'll go down. All right, Rick, but still, where would your stop loss be? Because right now you're kind of armchair quarterbacking stuff. You're like, I think it'll go there and then it'll go down. Okay, well, let's see how would you actually have done it? So where would you put a stop? You think your entry point would be 19,890. Where would your stop be, though? Yeah, that was a nice short in hindsight, though. If this movement was reversed and it shot up like that, you would be sitting there, Scott, going, man, I'm glad I didn't put on that short trade. Right? Scott, a little hindsight confirmation bias weighing in on your thoughts here. No stop loss, 100% all in. Right. Yes, that's... Caught 25 short in a minute. 25 points, Ken? Well, something leaked. Somebody knows something. What's the best trading platform? Well, I don't know, Mike. What are you looking to trade? How are you looking to trade it? Are you a day trader? Are you a swing trader? Are you trading stocks? Are you trading crypto? Are you trading futures? Bit of an open-ended question there. What do you mean by short? Short means you can make money if things go down. That is known as going short or shorting. So you sell first and then you buy. You want to buy back lower than what you sold for. So if you go short something and it goes up, that's bad. You lose money. I see it going up, then down. Not enough for me because, okay, Rick, but what my point is, like, you can't make money off of that kind of trade plan. I see it going up, then down. Well, but that's not really applicable. Like, how far up do you see it goes? But you don't know for sure it's going to come back down. Never shorted soon. Can't get in it. Okay. So if you're never shorted, then yeah, you probably don't even know what I'm talking about where to start a stop loss. Yeah, but will Jerome... it's not... I hope, Jerome. I hope. Raise those interest rates, Jerome. Raise those rates. Let's start to actually fix things around here. Raise those rates. Ever notice chat lights up at big moves? I do notice, but I light up too. Like, I'm like, whoa! I mean, I light up just like everybody else, man. Big moves. Big moves are big moves. Why is this happening now? My speculation is somebody must know what the decision is. So what would cause, I'm guessing, what would cause it to go down? Yeah, I don't know. 20, what's your advice? I don't know. However you passed them, do that. That'd be my advice. Whatever strategy you use to pass all those, keep with the strategy. And if you don't want to use a copier, then yeah, you're just going to have to trade them one at a time. Lower interest rates so I can buy a car for cheap. Or Tuan, just save up. Or maybe not get a car that you want. But that's the problem. I need to make debt cheaper. No. You need to force people to just save up for some things once in a while. Okay, BK Dot, we already addressed this. BK Dot already made my argument for me without realizing it. Paul is not raising no, I doubt he's going to raise. He should raise in my opinion, but I mean, yeah, he's not going to. Trump says not reducing tariffs on China. ARM, IONQ currently is giving reports after market. Any thoughts on that? No, Daniel, like I said, man, I think you were here. I don't day trade. I don't day trade stocks anymore. It's inefficient use of capital. Very inefficient use, as I showed earlier talking about PLTR. I showed PLTR and how it would require $10,000 to make $300. And that was actually a very big move that I was saying PLTR would have to make. Or you could do futures for $105 and make $600 in a very, very small amount of movement. So it's just an inefficient use of capital to day trade stocks. Hey Clay, happy to report I passed my take profit trader test today. Fantastic. Good job, Shoot. Good job. Welcome to the pro account world. Fantastic. Lower interest rates would be good for home. No, I disagree that it'd be good for home buyers. Because then guess what? There's all these bidding wars. Well, no kidding, there's bidding wars. What do bidding wars do? They shove the prices up. Why? Well, because there's more buyers all of a sudden. Why are there more buyers? Because they just make the debt cheaper. No. Make people save up for stuff. That's the price of the home. Save up for it. But creating a bunch more buyers that are going to create bidding wars, that's not, and then you're going to have people, these same people are going to be complaining about bidding wars. Interest rates remain the same. I heard he say it last time. Well, that was last time. Maybe something will be different. But it's affecting NASDAQ. That's why I question. Because they are all high-tech companies. Oh yeah, I literally just don't care about those things. Like I don't know. So you're asking many thoughts? No, I have no thoughts, and I have no thoughts because I don't care about any of that stuff. That doesn't fit into my strategy. All right, we are 2 minutes away. Correct. Yes, bidding wars are good for house sale. Well, depending on where you're going to move, because if you are selling your house and you want to go buy a house and you're staying in the same local area, welcome to the bidding wars. Moon rockets or submarines? I have no idea what's going to happen. Everybody's guess is as good as mine. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I can, know anything. I don't know. We're going up for sure. All right, Chris is just talking. He's running though. He's yapping. All right. So Chris is all in long. And if it goes up, he'll be here saying, see, I told you so. If it goes down, we won't hear from Chris. But I also think Chris is just messing around when he says for sure. So I'm picking up on some sarcasm there. All right. Less than 1 minute. We'll be able to tell. My one prediction is that this will freeze up. Like the candle will stop moving. That is my prediction. That trade ovate will not be able to keep up with it. So that is my only prediction. The candle will freeze up for a bit. So far, I'm wrong. No freezing up. Okay. Okay. It's doing a little dance. Do we know what they announced? I guess I can check that. Does anybody know what the decision actually was? My app has not quite updated yet. No change. Thank you, Jim. Boo. I wanted to see that increase. So just a bunch of whiplash action that probably roasted some shorts. Anybody that were maybe trying to play some sort of breakout, they might have gotten roasted on the way back down. She's going to blow? Yeah, which direction? I like you, Joshua. A nice little answer where you can't be wrong. What are you a lawyer or something, Joshua? That's quite the way with those words. If it blows, see, I told you it was going to blow up. Goes down. Oh, see, I told you it was just going to. I guess Trump won't be happy. He wanted rates lowered. Yeah, probably won't. No, hey. I applaud you. I liked how you said that. She's going to blow. I agree. Which direction? Oh, I don't know about that part, but I do know it's going to dance. But we'll see just how jiggy it wants to get. Hey, keep hitting that like button, and I'll keep streaming. I could take this up to 4 hours. I could see it. I'm still feeling good, but I want to make sure people are interested. So if you are enjoying and you want to keep the party going, you want to keep the stream going, whether you're entertained or think that you're learning or just enjoying, I gauge whether or not I should keep doing things based off if people are entertained. And I base that off of that like button. So if you are any of those above, make sure you hit that like button. Let's keep this, keep it cruising. No cuts. To me, that's bullish still. Okay. Well, where are you getting long at then? Where's your long? Where's your stop? Where's your target? LYFT is moving now. Alrighty. Well, from Michael Anthony, we're not really in day trading stocks here. Because to go and day trade LYFT would be a very inefficient use of your capital. At the bottom of your screen, it says realize PL. Is that for today's trades? Yes. Yes. I'm in. Okay, Rick, what we're saying here, Rick, what I'm trying to tell you is like, when you tell that stuff all in hindsight, that's not really a whole lot. Like, you never told us your entry point until after this all. Now, had you said beforehand, I'm going to buy at this level and then I'm selling at 19,890, then it's like, okay, that's good, solid stuff right there. Do you like TradingView? Does it work with, I do not, candlestick bums, I do not use trading. I mean, I use TradingView, but I do not use them in conjunction with Take Profit Trader. You could if you wanted, but I don't. This is good. I remember you way back to the pennies around 2009. Oh, you're old, Tony. You're old like I am. Tony, are you currently yelling at some kids to get off your lawn? Got my target, 2 times 400, done for the day. Good job, Renan. Very good job. Congrats. Yeah, that's right, Tony. Tony and I, we're yelling at kids, get off our lawn. I just ran the sprinkler yesterday. I just had Harrison. Okay, here we go. Harrison Ford, I just had this quote. Instead of get off my lawn, here we go. Here's our movie trivia for the day. Get off my plane. Maybe I gave too much of a hint. Maybe I didn't even need to give the actor. But Harrison Ford, get off my plane. Wow. That's impressive. That is impressive. Short 1MNQ stop loss about B. I think you mean above previous candles. All right. Hopefully it works out, Danny T. Yes, Air Force One is the movie. Well done. Is it still a good movie? Nope, not Con Air. Or is it one of those movies where you watch it again and then you're like, man, I remember that movie being a lot better than what I remembered it. Nope, not Snakes on a Plane. I don't think I've ever seen that one. No, not Indiana Jones. All right, Michael Anthony. Michael Anthony. Type in the chat box ABC. I think you may be a bot. ABC. I just told you we really don't care about stocks or anything like that in here, and you keep talking about this stuff. So, Michael Anthony, I think you may be a bot. So please type ABC in the chat room. If your next message is more talking about who knows what, then it is time for the ban. So ABC, Michael Anthony, please. I would say good as in classic nostalgia, buy NQ. At what level? What level and what is your stop loss, Sintra? Okay, here we go. What level do you buy it and where's your stop loss at? And then where's your target? But buy NQ, that's kind of random. Like, okay, like where do you want to buy it? Okay, don't tell us to wait. Where? Where are you buying at? Of course you're saying wait because you're armchair quarterbacking it. Tell us right now. Where are you going to buy? Give us your entry point, give us your stop loss, and then give us your target. Okay, you're looking. Fair enough. Fair enough. We're approaching a pivot point here on the 5-minute. Yeah, didn't a bunch of people say this thing was going up? I should hold more, but it is. But is it? Rules. Wow, Sintra, you eventually said buy when it was up here. And then I was like, where buy? And you're like, well, wait. Man. It is right at the pivot point here. Dotted brown line. We'll see if it can bounce off that. Can it bounce off that level? Okay, where's... Go. Okay, well, where's the stop loss at, Sintra? Some people just, they refuse to listen to instructions. I asked for where are you going to buy, and he says go. I'm trying. See, I'm trying to work with people. My rule is I always go against what I think. Okay, well, we have 0 trying to go from Sintra. I'm trying to have him, but he told us to buy and then wait, and then he says go. So, okay, so you're getting roasted right now then, Sintra. Because you said to buy, you said go when it was like up here, and now it's all the way down here. So you stopped out. What are you doing? So see, Sintra, that's what I'm trying to avoid. Like the armchair quarterbacking, like without any details, it's kind of like, okay, well. But as far as I can tell, you just got roasted. But to be fair, I don't know because I don't know where you bought. I don't know what your stop loss was. I don't know what your target was because all you said was first buy, and then it dropped way more, and you said wait, and then it came up a little bit, and you said go, and now it's down here. Oh, and now it's my fault that I'm distracting you. Uh-huh. It's weird how when you ask people for certain numbers, they just won't give them to you. They'll tell you everything else except the numbers. How come futures are more efficient use of capital? Very good question. What do you trade right now, Loyal? Love the Fed, creating price stability every time Powell speaks. Don't blame the Fed. Well, it's kind of the Fed's problem, but the Fed gets too much blame. Blame the politicians. The politicians created this mess. And when I say that, I mean all politicians. What is my proof on that? Has anybody looked at the debt? Inflation, money printing. Money printing causes inflation. Inflation is politicians' favorite tax because they can sit there and give everybody a bunch of free stuff and make it look like, well, we didn't raise taxes. We just printed money. Well, yeah, and then printing money shows up as inflation. And now the Fed's got to try to clean up this mess. So don't blame the Fed. Blame the people that is causing, again, to be fair, the Fed could say politicians, no, we're not printing money anymore. But the Fed would not have to make that decision if politicians would just stop spending so much. I blame the Fed. They took too much out of my wage. Yeah, okay. I want 0. And again, my friend. The Fed has 0 to do with taxes. It sounds like your complaint has to do with politicians. Yeah, they don't even report M2 anymore, do they? Yeah, one of those things they don't even report public anymore. I think it is M2, if I remember right, Mike. Just stocks themselves. All right. Never mind, Sintra. I tried, my friend. I tried to have you give me an entry point, a stop loss, and a target, and you just refuse to do it. All you do is talk in general terms so that you can't be wrong. So excuse my skepticism and excuse me not being impressed at all, Sintra. Because eventually you said go right here. And then it dropped more, and then you're, yeah, where's your stop loss at? Still didn't tell me where your entry point is at. You said you bought. I am in now. Okay, well, where did you get in at? Where's your stop loss? Why can you not tell me this information? And you're getting absolutely roasted on your buy. But maybe you're not, because I don't know anything about your trade plan. They didn't, actually. That person did not type ABC. I'm just a part-time knowledge bot. 704 is your stop. Okay, well, then you were just stopped out. Okay, so you bought up here, your stop was down there, and that just stopped you out. Gotcha. Of course you did. I'm sure you did. And where's your stop loss at? It's amazing how people that always like buy, like they're always like close to the bottom. Like anybody that tells you in hindsight, it's always close to the bottom. It's weird how that works. Still, it haven't given us a stop loss. What's the number bottom big red? What's the number bottom big red candle? I have no idea what you're talking about. What's the number bottom? What's the number bottom? I don't know what that means. I don't use stop loss. All right. Gotcha. All right. Now everything makes so much more sense. All right, Sintra. Now you make so much more sense. Because it was really coming across like you were just doing things randomly. But now to hear that, like, now you don't even have a stop. Okay, that makes sense. The world, my mind is at ease once again. Doesn't even know what it's called. A stop lost. We were never not cool. I was just trying to figure you out. But I officially have figured you out. You're just yapping. What is the price at the bottom of the highest big red candle? 19,686. Is that where you bought, Rick? Let me ask this. Who was that earlier? I wanted to get to it, but I kept getting distracted. What was it? Loyal Wiz. Loyal Wiz, are you still here? You asked a good question. You said, how come futures are a more efficient use of capital? And then you said you were trading stocks. Are you still here? Because I would be happy to explain that to you. Rick, you don't have to put in like I said. My friend, I'm getting a million messages. So I'm not disagreeing that you probably said it, but save yourself the typing space, like I said. Well, cut me some slack. Cut me some slack that I don't remember what everybody said to the exact T. Still here. All right. So Loyal Wiz, like, what's the stock that you looked at today? Out of curiosity. Well, I'll try to make this a little bit more applicable. I'm in 19,670. Well, Rick, it sounds like you would really enjoy futures. So I hope you decide to get involved in futures. Use that link at the top of the screen, code CLAY, so you can get the discounts and you could be trading the stuff. You can start to actually put your money where your mouth is and you'll enjoy yourself. Loyal Wiz. Again, were you looking at any particular stock today that you trade? Shorting okay, this is great. MSTR. Yeah, okay. This will be a very good example. So first off, congratulations, Loyal Wiz. You're doing very well in life if you have the amount of capital to be doing what you're doing. So MSTR, and you said you were shorting. How many shares? How many shares, if you don't mind, Loyal Wiz? Or how many shares did you trade earlier? Like, how many shares of this do you own? Of a $300+ stock? I know I'm getting a little personal, but this will help me answer your question. How is it more efficient? Okay, 25 to 100. Goodness. Well done to you, sir. So we'll go with the smaller amount. So he says sometimes he's short 25 shares, and these shares cost, let's just call it $3.85. So if you want 25 shares of something that costs $3.85 per share, that requires $9,625, okay, for 25 shares. Now, let's say this thing makes a great move, and it goes from, from right here, 394, all the way down here to, let's just call that 384, right? So big old move here on the chart. Look at this big distance. That would be, again, for argument's sake, a $10 move. So how many shares does he have? So he needed $9,600 for 25 shares, and it just moved $10 per share. So that big old movement made him $250. So it required $9,600 of either cash and margin, but some sort of form of his risk. He had 96, that was his risk. It required $9,600 for $250. Now let's take a look at the futures real quick. Now this kind of messed things up, so I don't want to look at that. Let's look at, so right here. So this distance right here, remember this big old distance was on the chart for the stock, but this distance right here, from here to here, hopefully we can all agree, not a huge distance. And the separation between these two numbers is 20. And in futures, this is known, things are measured in points. So this is a difference here of 20 points. So next thing, with the NQ, 1 point equals $20. So the question now becomes, okay, well, this distance here, how much was that actually worth? And this is all being done per contract, but we'll get that. So, all right, well, Clay, you said that that distance there is 20 points, and you said that 1 point is worth $20. So we've got to multiply that by 20. So this distance here was worth $400. So already more than what that was on the stock that we looked at for this distance right here. Remember on the stock, this big old 10-point move, or $10 move equated to $250 and also required $9,600. Now, right now, to be fair, Loyal Wiz could be saying, wait a minute, but I still don't know. Well, how much money was actually required out of my pocket to get to this potential $400? Very fair, very good question. And that is why part of Pam's plan, so the first part is to use futures, and the main part is the movement, as I just showed you right there. But with prop firms, you're going to have very low capital required. So again, well, how much money is needed to have partaken of that move? Well, if you went to the bare bones, because remember, that was all based on one contract. So the smallest purchasing power you could get is $25,000, which would allow you to buy 3 of those contracts. Again, that $400 was only for one contract, but you could have gotten 3 with this size account. How much would that cost you out of your pocket? $105. So had he done 3 contracts, so again, this number was just for the one contract, but he could have gotten 3. So let's multiply that by 3. That's $1,200 that he could have gotten for $105. Whereas when he's shorting that stock for 25 shares, it's requiring $9,600. And then giving him the benefit of the doubt to get that big old move of $10 per share, that made him $250. So $9,600 to make $250 or $105 to make potentially $1,200. Not to mention, he's using all of his money. So if something crazy happens and boom, the price goes against him, and let's just say it was a $1,500 loss, well, for him, that's $1,500 out of his pocket. For you as a prop firm trader, that would mean you violated the rule, you lost more than they wanted, which means they take the account away from you. But does that mean you lost $1,500? No, it just means you lost the account, which means the only money you lost was the cost of the account, which was $105. So right there is why I say if you are day trading stocks or anything else, very inefficient use of your capital. So I hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense, my friend. Does that make sense, Loyal Wiz? Thank you. So yes, if you do want to get into this, again, if you want to support the channel, get the discounts, use the prop firm, use everything that you see here, then you can use, like I said, the link at the site is the prop firm that I use. And code Clay is a way to not only get the discounts, but support the channel. Say, I buy and instantly sell. Will I not lose to slippage and fees? Must not hold longer. And what profit was we paid a fee? Let's say the commissions are not, there are commissions, but very small. For the amount you can make, the fees are just, for lack of argument, they don't exist. There are commissions, but they're very, very little. And yeah, futures kind of have slippage, but not a whole lot of slippage because it's a very liquid market. So Rick, at the end of the day though, like if you want to keep on trading, then you should be doing Pam's plan. You literally ran out of money today because you're doing the cash rule. So you can't trade anymore, which is crazy. I want to be a day trader. Oh, I can't be a day trader anymore because I ran out of trades. What's up with people asking, is this like a new lingo? Like, what is your strategy when trading futures? My strategy is candlestick technical analysis. That's what I'm doing. I apologize. I don't have a cool name for it. I know there's lots of cool names of strategies, but I just trade the chart. I look at the candlesticks. I try to find situations where I believe there to be an edge, and where I believe that the risk makes sense relative to the reward. That's my strategy. You can do some risks if you know what your stop. Well, yeah, Daniel, unless you get crazy and it spikes against you. But at the end of the day, inefficient use of your capital. Why would you tie up $9,600 to make $250 when you could have $105 to make way more? While I'm thinking about it, it's quickly approaching, but if you are interested, I am offering a free live webinar this Thursday night. Put a link in the chat room. So if you want to learn more about the tools I'm using, how I'm building consistency, how I'm managing risk, and just making sure that you have a proper framework of kind of understanding. A lot of people show up and bless their hearts, but their framework is a little bit off, and it gets sketchy in a hurry. So I'm very confident that there's something here for everybody with that class. So make sure you go get signed up for that. All right, my voice is starting to leave me. I'm getting a little mentally dead. So I'm going to go ahead and call it good. If you have not yet, please hit that like button if you enjoyed. Really helps out. If we can get this up to 250, I believe that would be a new record. So if we have 10 more likes in here, you could be part of a record-breaking stream. But thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciated it. Again, if you want to get into Pam's plant, check out the link that you see on the screen there or in the message that I have pinned at the top of the chat. Use that link. Use code CLAY. That's a way to support the channel and ensure you get the current discounts, which for Take Profit Trader is 30% off, and then you have $0 activation fee. I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you are not yet a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell because sometimes I do show up a little early. Can I come back tomorrow? Yeah, if you want. Come on back. Rick, your assignment tonight, go sign up for the prop firm. Tomorrow when you come back, Rick, you better, when I say, hey, you got your prop firm, you better be like, yep, I do. So, and Sintra, your homework is to start to reflect and start to consider using a stop loss. That's your homework before tomorrow. So, all right, everybody, have a good one. And I will see you back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time.